We're not frozen. We're just doing that.
You know, for reasons.
We're odd to be jerks.
To be jerks. I unsubscribed and resubscribed, and that appeared to restart my notifications.
I see.
First.
Hello, Line Cook Thor, Ezekiel, Jesse, Ethan, Michael, and Sean. Hey, you quick! Shut up fast!
What do I mean, Joe? We did give them advance warning.
This is true.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Hi, Larry.
Oh, hi. You surprised me.
Ethan Gandara says, I'm a huge fan of you.
Of me? Well, awesome, Ethan. Thank you.
Everybody.
Okay, so I am working on yesterday's goat. Yeah. So I
Hey,
did.
Ezekiel.
I took some time and I downloaded a bunch of goat pictures. They're on my computer, which is showing the comments on the big screen.
Jesse
So-
says, it's our ongoing class.
Yeah. That's just how it is. And some folks are not getting notifications, so Stacy did hop on and say, hey, guess what? All right.
Stay, Casey.
Mostly, I just saw some things on the stuff that I did. I attempt to be creative. We have Stacy, we have Rue back. Rue is back. Say hi, Rue.
Thank you
Hi,
guys
Rue.
for the chair. It's amazing.
Yeah, she's wheeling around the room in her chair, having a great time. That's how it goes.
Oh, Gray is watching. Hi, Gray. Hi, Robert.
Hello, Gray.
Mr. Jimmy says, got my pump on a pole today.
You did? That's awesome.
Dirty B says, woo, I was scared there. I'm in Orlando. The storm knocked my power out. It's back now. My first thought was, how am I going to watch Alan?
At least you have your priorities straight.
Hi, Ross Richard.
Hi, Hugo.
And that's fine as long as you don't have like a parent on oxygen in the other room and you have to worry about that too, you know. In that case, they should probably be your first priority involved.
Michael, I'm in love with the chair. Thank you. It's so comforting.
James, I am finishing up a goat monster sculpt that I started last night.
Chad asks, is there a Hunter's Hangout tonight?
Ooh,
Talk
look at
to Chris.
I don't know. Is there?
John, I did not buy this chair. The Still Beast Live Creepers
Yeah.
bought it for us.
Everybody watching bought this chair.
Ethan asks, have you been to Not Scary Farm?
I have been to Not Scary Farm, yes. I've actually made a couple costumes for them. I have a friend who's one of the designers out there, John Cook.
They are on tonight. Robert White
Okay.
says, thank you for the shirt. Love it. Got it for 2 days.
Oh, cool. We try. I mean, I am only going to the post office once a week, so that does, you know, sometimes it's 2 days, sometimes it's 5 or 6 days. But, you know, all depends on when you order.
Ethan says, I went backstage with him.
Oh, cool.
Another great one.
Hmm.
Just getting some images so I can get off the net.
Okay. Let me know how the feed is, because if it's grainy or something, I can kick Rue off the internet.
We're getting off anyway, but Drew get off faster.
So I saw just some anatomy that I want to, like, I didn't have a solid jawbone on this. And that's something that I did like.
Nancy says, it's great. Tim Kennedy says, speed is mostly good, just kind of bright.
Kind of bright.
Michael Lester asks, how did the murder hornet turn out?
It's coming along.
I'm working on it still.
Rue, you want to swing the camera around so you can see what they got, what you got?
I'm helping.
This is what we're at right now.
Murder Hornet.
He's dialing it in.
Robert White asked also, Alan, do you do anything at the Castle of Muskogee haunted houses?
Currently no, but they are pretty close to me as far as like drive time goes. I passed them, like I've never even been. But I'm also kind of a Ren Fair guy too. I have a museum, a monster museum at Scarborough Renaissance Festival. So doing something with them in the future sounds like a wonderful idea, and I might work to make that happen. We will see.
Ethan asks, "You live in California?"
No, I am in Texas. I am in a podunk town called Quinlan, Texas, and the haunted house that I work at is in Plano, Texas. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been
You
there.
were really spacing there for a second.
Yeah.
Scott Colhart said he got his first bucket of latex today.
Oh, that's so awesome! That's exciting. Yay!
There's one thing up tonight. Dirty B says the bucket video blew my mind. Is it the same for Lowe's 5-gallon buckets?
Most of those buckets in that fashion open the same way. There's another type of 5-gallon bucket that has, if you look at it, there's a little strip along the bottom, and it's got a little thing that says pull. Well, I assume you will grab that and pull, and then you've opened that bucket. So there are a couple styles of bucket, but the one I showed is the most common. And I get a lot of questions on how to open up buckets, oddly enough.
Lonnie Mask asks, how hard was it to start your own business and get paid for yourself?
Plain old.
I'm a bad person to ask. Simply because, do I work 60 or so hours a week? Yeah, but it's all stuff I like, so I don't mind it. How hard was it? If you don't mind working 60 hours a week or so, and pretty much giving up every weekend of your life ever, then it's not hard at all. And part of my brand is, you're gonna think this is weird, but I'm just nice. Just be nice, you know. And I have had a lot of success with the pattern of, I'm going to show you how to make something. You will see it's difficult, and then you will buy it from me. That's kind of one of the ways that I do business. I've had 4 people already say, "Hey, can I buy a monkey from you?" I just taught you how to make a monkey. You don't, make your own monkey. You saw it took me about 2.5 hours, and maybe $30 of materials. So why don't you make your own monkey? But they want me to make their monkey, and that's okay.
Rachel Powell says hello. Philip Earl says hi. How are you?
We may one day add monkeys to the website. We'll see.
Where is the web?
I used to sell 6-packs of monkeys. I got out of the monkey business.
Wah, wah,
I didn't. I literally got out of the monkey business.
Chad Smith says, I hope to turn this work into a business, most likely when I retire.
Yeah, we'll start on it.
Say why we.
So there's a book that I highly recommend called The 4-Hour Workweek. Because if you're committed, man, it's a good way to go. Has lots of strategies and possibilities and outcomes.
Lonnie Mask says, hopefully I can be on your level one day.
You know what? I'm not that good. I just know all the tricks to hide my bad work. Truthfully, that's what it is. And another one of my goals is I don't want to be the best at anything. Like it's not my goal to be the best sculptor ever. But I'd like to be in the top 7. Whatever I'm doing. Is it scenic painting? I'd like to be in the top 7 scenic painters of the haunted house industry. Is it mask making? I'd like to be in the top 7 mask makers for the haunted house industry. That's what I'd like to do. So for my industry, I just want to be in the top 7. Because if I'm top 7 in 20 different things, I'm doing all right.
Ezekiel says, I got out of the monkey business. Man, I'm still in it. Thank you, Scott. Glenn McCain says, monkey business, best dad jokes ever.
I didn't even mean it as a dad joke. I really didn't.
Schulte says, using some of those scenic painting tips in our month. Thank you so much.
Oh, you know what? I love it when people send me those pictures. Show me those pictures.
Put them in the group, guys.
There's a group called
Still Bees Live.
Live Creepers. Yes.
Which I didn't know about until yesterday.
Because
Yeah.
I am not using internet in the shop, Scott and Michael, I cannot really help you tonight too much dropping links, but
Yeah, because we don't want to hurt the bandwidth. Remember, I live in a log cabin. Like, don't forget that. Okay, so I just put some extra muscles on over here, which kind of makes sense. Bulk out this part of the head a little more.
Lonnie Mask asks, how old were you when you started making latex masks, like sculpting and molding?
I made my first mask in 1995. So that's how old was I?
Well, let's see.
I was 19. I was 19. I was 19 years old. I should have started sooner, but I was busy doing other things.
Michelle Schulte says, I will. We're getting to that in a week or two. I will be posting in the Creepers group.
That's awesome.
Looking forward to seeing it, Michelle. Thank you, Scott. Lonnie Mass says, ooh, great. I made mine when I was 11. It was terrible. I've had 6 years to improve.
Well, when I made my first one, it was pretty terrible, and then I continued to make terrible masks for the next 15 years. It really was much later when I got focused and started, I hate to say it, caring more. You know, it's like, yeah, that looks like a zombie. That's good enough. Well, it shouldn't have been good enough for me. You know, I deserve better than that.
Ethan Gandara says, I went to Not Scary Farm and John took me up to the makeup room and someone turned me into a monster.
That's awesome.
Pro monsters. Nice shot. Mom asks, it's a good mindset to have.
So I'm putting in some lines that I saw that I kind of liked. All of this is just anatomy that I remember from the pictures I pulled up earlier today. And eventually I'll have to do a split screen or something. So
I can
that,
just do it on the computer if you want to have this other tab.
but my images are there.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, Ezekiel, woohoo! Leak seal box
Wow, fancy.
Well, that'll put this off the Wi-Fi if you download the pictures, right? So I can get on the Wi-Fi on my phone and check how it's there.
Yes, that's possible. So what I just did was I made a line in my sculpture. Let's get a little closer.
Enhance. Hello, Twisted Vixen.
So this here, I just gouged. See, I took a tongue depressor and I cut it like that. And then I gouge in this line, all right? Once I gouge in this line, it looks like what we call a tool mark because I took a tool and I made a mark. So now I'm going to take a loop tool and I'm going to knock off all the corners on it. And that's going to make this appear much more like a natural wrinkle.
Chad Smith says, I would like to start selling my masks, but I'm not sure the best way to do it. Plus, I'm a nobody.
Well, it doesn't matter if people know who you are or not. If you make a cool mask, then people will probably, buy it. If you want to make another Michael Myers mask or another clown mask, you're going to have a harder road to hoe because those are already out there in droves, So that's going to be more difficult. But if you have an original mask, like a were-carrot or something, maybe a vampire pony mask or whatever it is, that is going to solicit you a little more attention because it's not out there already. Better yet, if you can find something that haunted houses need, or find a niche, you know, who needs this mask, then you'll be in better shape.
Haha.
Lonnie Mask asks, have you ever used the trick of putting your sculpt in the fridge? The clay won't dry as fast, but it'll get hard, but not dry, and you can carve lots of small pieces.
No, I just knock it out, man. I just do it fast. Yes, I do know that trick. I do have a fridge in my shop, and I've done it for small sculptures, but I don't normally do it for big size stuff.
Ethan asks, when did you go to Knott's?
When did I go to, oh boy, 2012? Yeah, 2012 was the year I think I did.
Twisted Vixen asks, will you paint it?
Well, this sculpture I'll make a mold of, and then once I make a mold of it, then I will, well, I'm always bad at this part. Okay, there we go. Once I make a mold of it, I will pour it up in latex, and I'll paint the latex. So, yes, kind of.
Lonnie Mask says, I made masks for 5 years without selling any, or people knowing who I am. I make masks because I love making them.
That is good.
Chad Smith says, my stuff is all original, I won't tread another's wood.
That is a great attitude to have.
Twisted Vixen says, add fangs.
Okay. I'm actually, in all honesty, I'm probably going to pull the teeth out of this because I can do the teeth other ways later. You know what I mean? I put teeth in here, and I like these teeth.
Oh, that'll give you the notifications.
Oh, are they getting notification
Yeah,
beeps?
you apparently get a lot of notifications.
This is my life.
Yoda says, got my pumpkin face blanket today. Gotta say, the pics don't do it justice. Love the little skeleton dude extras you packed in too. So awesome.
Very cool.
Brian Lippert says, hi guys. Alan, have you made a Wendigo?
I've made several. Which kind of Wendigo are you referring to? The deer skull with antlers, or the white hairy kind, which was my favorite Marvel character?
Ronnie Pope asks, have you worked on the Beast?
I have not worked on Beastman yet today. Today I did a lot of pouring and getting other orders ready.
CNC says, I just got my shed today. I should finish it tomorrow and do a vlog on it this weekend.
That's awesome.
Our hangout is tonight. Prop makers.
Yeah, so I won't be on long, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I'm doing something different, and we're not on Hunter's Hangout. I don't know. I don't want to upset them, but
Well, both of them will be there, you know, after. It's not like they disappear.
that's true.
Brian,
Watch them live and then come back and watch me later. That's fine.
Brian Lippert says, deer skull.
Yeah, I've done a few of those. Yeah, I like them.
Jordan Bunce asks, any more bear masks in the making?
Yes, I poured up a bear today, and I'm going to do my prophecy bear next, which is a bear inspired by the bear from the prophecy.
Lucky says, wow, it's amazing to see the evolution of this goat. The character that you have brought out over such a short time is fantastic.
Hey, thanks.
Lonnie Mask asks, does room temperature affect the dwelling of latex?
Yes, it does. Everything takes longer when it's cold out. Everything takes longer when it's cold. Today, I could probably get 2 or 3 pulls out of my grave digger molds, simply because it was a nice warm day. A touch humid.
Scott Mechanic says, at least you're doing it right. Zach Whiteman says, you just do you, boo.
Hey, Zach.
Michelle Schulte says, Alan's doing something different. Just because I pop into them then doesn't mean I don't check into it.
Well, no, I don't want anybody to not do either. I mean, do them over me. If you want to do one tonight, do them. That's fine. Truly.
Chad Smith says, do you sell still these stickers on your site? I can't find them, but I'd love to have a couple.
You know what? I don't think we sell stickers right now. I'm gonna have to yell at my wife and have her set that up.
Jordan
And
Bucks.
this is a pro tip, guys. If you want your wife to do something, yell at her a lot about it. And that really speeds things up and it makes things go very well.
As a real life wife,
Yeah.
I can attest to the efficacy of this situation.
Yeah, exactly. Just yell at her. That's how things get accomplished.
Turning yelling into success.
Don't do that.
Jordan Bunn says, can't wait to buy a full bear costume.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to buy a full bear costume either.
Big Dog says, 17 minutes late. Hello, Stacey Allen, and the hand to the right.
Yeah,
that,
that's me. That's Rick.
that hand belongs to Rue.
Hello.
We installed a tatted up hand in the shop.
You know.
We got a discount thing. Just done some time.
Michelle Schultz says, I'm with you. Stickers.
Sorry.
JLo Flicks asks, have you created a bust in a mold filled with expanded urethane covered with a latex skin? If so, I haven't found your video. I'm probably blind.
Okay, so I have, but I didn't like call it that because that was really complicated. I have a video on making a master, which is the same thing. You have latex in a mold, you foam fill it, and then a couple weeks ago, I actually did a foam filled grave digger on my live. But I have done it. It's not hard to do at all, truly. Use a soft foam, use a flexible foam, not a rigid foam, or else it's going to be really hard to get out of the mold. It's happened.
Lucky says, also, I saw that my war pig shipped. I'm so freaking excited.
Yeah.
Richard McGrath says, good morning, guys. Goat's looking good.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm hoping I can get done with this goat and then move on to Beastman, and I'll finish up Beastman while he's working on the Murder Hornet.
Rigor Mortis FX Studios. Hi, Alan. Have you ever done a sculpting of Bigfoot?
I have made 4 or 5 different Bigfoots.
A
Yes,
couple of Bigfoots.
yes. The very first mask I ever made in 1995, Bigfoot. And here's what's funny, that Bigfoot was actually used on a TV show. Yeah, that Bigfoot, it was a while later, it wasn't like right away, but the guys who did Blair Witch had a TV show called Freaky Links. And in their opening montage was a Chupacabra suit that I made and a Bigfoot costume that I made.
Lonnie Mass says, damn, I was talking with a mate, he said he weld his mask for 1 hour and got a great thickness, and I was wondering why it was taking 4 hours to weld and get the same thickness. It's because I'm doing it in my basement.
Is your basement colder? It all depends on temperature, yeah. Temperature's a biggie. And humidity. If your plaster is already wet, then it's not thirsty. And it can absorb moisture out of the air. And then there's already moisture in your mold, so it's not going to suck moisture out of the latex as fast because it's already full of moisture.
Sandra Almeida says, could you give a presentation showing the details of making the 2-part plaster cast?
I have several molds on that. I have several videos on that. So I have on my YouTube channel, I have a latex mask making. I have a latex mask making playlist. And on there are several videos of me doing that exact process.
Will you mold this one live?
I will probably mold this one live. What day is it?
When? Thursday?
Thursday.
I'll probably mold it Saturday. And yeah, I'll do it live. I mold a lot of things live.
Lonnie Mass said, I had no idea temperature affected that.
And you know what? If you go back and if you, whoever just asked about that, I have a Mold-A-Bear workshop video. Okay? It's only a couple videos back. And it's me molding the bear mask I just recently did. That's a 2-part mold. You see me make the wall. It's a whole thing, and it's live like this. So, yeah, there are people asking questions. It's all there.
Forward Beauty says, goat is looking great. How's the Hornet?
How is the Hornet, Rue?
Hornet is looking very good. I'll
You
turn
wanna-
and show it
You
here.
want to take the phone and move it around for the Hornet people? That's two.
Crunch. Crunch.
Hornet is
Horneting.
looking hornety.
Lonnie Mass says it's a lot colder in my basement.
Yeah, then that is one reason why things are taking longer. It's going to take longer to dry and cure, meaning your latex is going to stay white longer. That's just how it be, yo. Now, if you put a dehumidifier in there, throw a fan on it, that'll help.
High horror beauty effects.
Hello.
Hello. Jordan Buns asked any thoughts on a full-blood polar bear costume?
What do you mean, any thoughts?
Full blood.
Full-bloody.
Oh, my thoughts are it's thrilling. Yeah.
Mmm. Blood on white.
You could just answer
So
my
much fun.
Or Beauty says, doing good myself, just relaxing after a good hike.
This is wet clay. It's water-based clay. It is a very natural clay component and glycerin. The glycerin just keeps it from drying out as fast.
Hi, Scott Creighton. Lonnie Mouse says, yeah, my basement's much colder. I'll try somewhere hotter. Oh, Ethan says, hey, this is my little brother's account. I have a YouTube channel. It's called Johnny Espino.
Okay. Cool.
Lucky says, 71 people watching or 21 thumbs. We need more thumbs.
Terrible.
Imagine if there were YouTube zombies instead of brains, they ate thumbs.
Yeah. Feed them zombies.
Stacy says, question for you, steampunk, or Big Dog says, Stacy, question for you, steampunk, a hat for a lady, you make one? Alright, so hat is where we need to define things, because if you want something that's built off an existing hat base, like a top hat, or a cloche hat, or any kind of existing hat, that's gonna be Leslie. Leslie handles all of our made to wear hat.
And Leslie is awesome.
She is
If
fantastic.
you've ever
Her stuff is
came to
beautiful.
my booth, if you've been to a Still Piece booth at a trade show in the past 5 or 6 years, you'd have run into it, Leslie and Ida.
Yep, she's very good, and she makes some really incredible hats. If you would like a headdress that is a built-up headpiece that is not built off of an existing hat, that is the thing I absolutely do and would be happy to come.
Yeah. If
I
you're
have made
thinking
these things.
coronet or diadem or any kind of headgear that's not necessarily a hat, then
Fascinator.
yeah, Stacy's your girl.
And we divide it that way so that everybody can have their own kind of creative space to move in, and everybody feels good about how that's shaken out.
We're getting there, guys.
Yes.
I feel this is a little goaty.
I've been wanting to try making a latex
It's
mask for a
supposed to
long
be.
time, but the sculpting part intimidates me.
Okay, stop it. Stop being intimidated.
Stop it! Nah.
Everybody says looking good, Rue. Nice job.
Oh,
Thank you.
Rue. Okay. I had to lift up your thing because you were on the wire.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lonnie Mass says,
Sorry.
yeah, I just live with 5 other people, so there's not much space, but I have to make my masks. Do you
Who's
recycle
this
your
thing?
clay once you've made a mold of it?
What's that?
Do you recycle your clay after you've made a mold of it?
I hate it when he does this.
No, I normally throw it out. Normally I throw it out.
Thor says looking good, Rue.
Thank you.
Come on, Raj says looking good.
Now I'm gonna raid Rue's clay because he just has more clay than me.
Shell Schulte, build you a custom. Yes, I'm excited. I started working on it. Built your base. I'm going to vent it. Actually, I'm going to steal some screen from you while I'm here, Ellen. She wants some venting.
Sure.
So it's not quite as hot. 1980 says just ghost shift the snack.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Ghost Ship. Good reference. Good reference. What I wanted to do was I'm going to bring it out another. It's like 3/4 inch, you know. So
Thank you, Scott.
I just cut a piece that is between 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch thick. I tacked that on there. Now I'm going to get a little wiry sculpting tool to cut it. One of these.
Lucky said, wow, that reference took me a minute to get.
Yeah, ghost ship, man. That was.
Oh, got ass.
That's the only worthy 5 minutes of footage in that whole movie. So much so that they use it like 6 times in the film.
The meat hook seems pretty good.
Chad said,
I like the
Hunter's
meat.
Hangout, I'll be back.
Yeah, go enjoy Hunter's Hangout.
Big Dog says, okay, I'll wait till St. Louis for Hat to see what she has. I mean, she's got a couple of steampunky-esque things on the site currently.
Tell you what, why don't you invite Leslie to the group,
Okay.
and then we can do an intro,
Yeah.
and yeah.
See if I can do that. I'll do that. Mine goes my Christine says, hey all, I saw the goat earlier and now he's nurseless. Doing modifications?
Yeah, I wanted to bring it out another, just 3/4 of an inch. So I'm adding 3/4 of an inch of clay.
Big Dog says, yes, we'll look later. She's got some beautiful stuff. I really liked her Halloween little cameo thing she just did. I don't
That
know.
was very interesting. I don't know what that was all about.
Yeah, I don't know if that was official.
No.
Nope. Just because she wanted to, huh?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, she just got dressed up and
Yeah.
hung out in the parking lot.
I like her, yes! Line Cook Thor says that, well, he changed his mind. I think he said Ghost Ship was his first one movie, but. 1980 says, I used to work pre-stressed concrete. We had a tension and strand cables before we poured. That movie ruined me. Lonnie Mass says, what do you think of the 1986 version of The Fly?
86, is that Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah.
Then I loved it. I mean, I didn't think he ate enough people. Like, I'm all for monster rampages, and that was not rampagey enough. It was a monster that affected a very small circle of people.
Spook Shack SPFX says, hello, looks like a full house tonight.
Yes, we have Stacy, we have Rue. That's who we have here this evening. Okay, and I think that 1/2 inch or whatever it is I just added really made a difference.
Did you? Oh, you made it longer?
Yeah, just a little longer. Yeah.
Lonnie Mass says, that was my favorite film, 100%. 1980 says, Fly 2 was underappreciated.
I agree with you there.
Richard McGrath says, Loctite spray foam, great stuff. Thanks for the tips on how to hold it.
I think it made it more goaty.
Horror Beauty says, the Fly was good, loved Swamp Thing too.
Oh, Swamp Thing. Yeah.
Big
Wow.
Dog says, the arm wrestling was epic.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that scene.
Rocky Pope says, need to hit that thumbs up, creepers.
Yeah. That's the thumbs up police.
Lonnie Mass says, yeah, that looks a lot better with the extension.
Yeah. Don't be scared.
Brandon D says, finish with 2 ends. Look, it's a sculptor, not a speller. Good evening, Brandon D.
Did I spell it wrong?
Big Dog is going to do a Facebook account just for us creepers.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, Big Dog, that's awesome. Well, join on and I'll get you approved or somebody else will.
I feel like we've dragged you out of a cave into society.
1980 says another Jeff Goldblum classic. Earth Girls Are Easy. Oh my God! Yes,
Love
Earth Girls Are Easy. Jill Brown did all the music for that.
I've never
Oh,
seen
man.
it.
Really?
Yeah, it's just, yeah, the title scares me off.
It is not. There's no sword fighting or really any monsters.
They're monsters.
They're kind of monsters. They are in
They're
fur
aliens.
suits, like creature suits. Kind of.
They're monsters. I vote them as monsters.
Baby Jeff Goldblum in that.
Yeah.
Jordan Bun says, any chance she'll make a jumping stilt werewolf 2.0?
You know what? I remember that you actually had one of those. I made that in 2001, 2002. That was a while ago. It's possible. It's possible. I don't do a lot on jumping stilts now, but I should make. I've been toying with making some feet for them. And if I make feet for them, I might as well sew with my current werewolf package.
Taylor Flex says, I have both the Sika post-hole foam from Home Depot and soft polyfoam from Monster Makers to try with mass latex. Do you recommend a good mold release for latex? Thank you so much for your response.
Use the soft stuff. If you use the Sika foam, then do it outside of a mold like I did in the video.
You'll
Do
never
I
get out
have
of
a what now? What was the last part of that?
Do you have a good mold release for the latex?
No, you don't need a. You want your foam to stick to it, so you don't want to release. If you're making a foam-filled latex thing, then the latex is a skin, and you don't want to release. You want it to stay together. But if you did want them to come apart, you don't need a release either. It's going to be able to come apart. You peel it off, you can peel it off.
Jim B says, I can join with Mr. Frost and face Buckaroo Bonsai, another sporting role for Jeff. Michael Laster says, I looked for the video of you doing the Master of the Elf mask, but couldn't find it. There's a lot of videos titled Shop Work, Shop Knife, Shop Stuff.
Yeah.
If we find it, make an isolated video of it.
Well, and you know what I will do is I'll just do it again because I do that every now and then.
I know you wanted to make one for the Heptaron, right?
Yeah.
Big Dog says there's a back horror story to Facebook, got rid of it years ago. Scott Colhart found the Molder Bear Part 2 video, thank you for that link.
Sound cool?
Brandon G says, I used to listen to the ending theme to Buckaroo Bonsai repeatedly. I don't know that I've seen Buckaroo Bonsai.
You should
Really?
you should-
Yeah?
Buckaroo Bonsai is totally up your
Is it?
alley.
You should correct that travesty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greg or Tony, if you're watching, put it on the list.
Yeah. Buckaroo Bonsai is totally up your alley.
If it's just Greg watching, tell Dad to put it on the list. Brandon D says it's Big Booty. I guess that's from Buckaroo Bonsai.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Melissa. $10.
I now have a hello.
Melissa.
Hey, and Melissa, I've been seeing what you've been working on Instagram. Cool stuff. Very cool stuff. So neat, and thank you.
Sorry, jumped on Buckaroo Bonsai. Yep, add it to the list, honey. What kind of stuff has Melissa been doing on Instagram?
Well, first of all, her and her husband have a cryptid type place. He's big into Bigfoot stuff.
Nice.
But she has a sculpt that's that she's just been painting.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Nice.
It's good work.
Check it. Thank you, Greg.
All right, so the goat is coming along. I'm happy that I did extend it just a little bit. You know, 3/4 of an inch makes a difference.
Just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Just leave it at that.
Stopping that one right there.
Brandon G says Christopher Lloyd voiced John Big Booty, one of the aliens. 1980 says if you don't know what an oscillation overthruster does, it's way better tech than the flux capacitor.
Aren't they all?
Big Dog says how many horns?
So there's going to be several. Once again, there'll be several versions of this, but the one that I have that is a commission is I'll clay off this eye. I will clay off this eye, so it's a regular 2-eyed goat, and it actually has 4 horns. 2 horns that come down and curl up like this, and then 2 horns that go up a little more classic-y rammy. Yeah.
Brandon D asks, sorry, but what are the possible sticks for?
Oh, okay. So I cut that off, and when I cut it off, I hurt its structural integrity because all that was holding it on at that point was vacuum suction. Before, it was built that way, you know? It was built all out, and I trusted it. As soon as I cut it off and stuck it back on, I no longer trusted that this whole snout wouldn't just fall off. So, because I didn't trust it, I put 2 popsicle sticks in, and I put them in flat so that the weight of it is resting on that flat piece. And then this piece is stuck all the way in here, and it just gives it a little more strength. If I put it in this way, then the weight is resting on a blade, and it would eventually just, cut through it. So when you put in supports, put them in such a way that makes structural sense.
Big Dog says, cool. Brandon D says, presumed that, but I had to be sure. Thanks, I got on late tonight. Not too late.
Okay. And I'm probably going to take out these teeth so that I have more tooth options down the road. What I will do is I will leave in a bit of upper and lower just plate that I can glue a tooth strip to later. And the ears are going to come off of this, so it won't look near as cool when I actually go to mold it. But then I'll have options of how to change up his teeth and such. I gotta re-kidney bean his mouth, I think. So I kind of lost those.
That kidney bean thing was like the visual difference it made in before and after went from looking like, yeah, okay, there's a mouth there, to looking like a real animal mouth.
No,
That's
it's
so cool.
Yep, it's these two little kidney beans that happen, and these are the muscles that control that lower lip.
I get no kidney beans.
You don't have any kidney beans.
No kidney beans.
Your kidney beans are internal because your skeleton is external.
Brandon D says options are usually more gooder.
Yeah.
Gregory Haynes says, you guys are Coke Zero fanatics like me.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Coke Zero.
They are.
I drink. I always have a beverage of some kind.
Sponsor us, Coke Zero.
Rue is sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
Ross Richard says an inbred goat would be cool.
I think most goats are inbred, really.
Nice Katie says Whataburger has a bigger sponsor budget than Coke? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Big Dog says, how deep are the necklines?
These necklines, they're not that deep. They look actually much deeper on the camera because the light is pretty much straight down, so you're seeing a hard shadow. But they're actually not that deep.
Chihuahua Moon says, thanks for the backpack harness tip to support my Krampus mask. I think it will work, so I appreciate your help.
Oh, cool. Very good.
Did we trip a breaker?
No, I have a faulty light switch,
Oh, now you
and I have the light switch sitting here to replace it. I just haven't replaced it yet.
Lucky says, this looks like it could double as a scary three-eyed rat. It's got kind of a long face for a rat.
I'm still leaving you this side.
Yeah, but you're on the right track. It's looking way better.
Brandon D says,
Thank you.
imagine drinking Pepsi Max.
I'd rather not. So, three-eyed rat. I don't see a lot of rat on this. I've sculpted rats. I'm trying to make sure it's not a cow. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
those head shapes, they're all so similar, and I've had to throw in a human skull, inside of this. So this is a challenge.
Ross Richard says, dogfight.
Yes, there is an active dog fight.
Big Dog says, drinking a double old fashioned. Michael J. Lassiter says, evil splinter. I could kind of see that. It has some passing resemblance to the splinter sculpt
From the movie?
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean these hard cheekbones.
Yeah. 1980 says three-eyed camel.
Closer to camel, especially with those teeth.
Oh my god, a Joe Camel character would be really funny.
All right, so one of the myriad of odd jobs that I had when I was in Orlando
heard this.
was for a while I was a stilt Bacardi bat. And I went to nightclubs for Bacardi, and it was always me and 3 or 4 scantily clad women, and I was this big stilt bat. And they would give out free stuff for Bacardi. And then I was hired by Camel Cigarettes. At one point, they offered they had like a new thing of 7 flavors of the Middle East. This was before 9/11.
This is when Turkish Gold came out.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes, there were 7 flavors that were
Oh, man,
Middle East inspired.
That orange mint one. And
Oh,
Okay.
Mandarin mint.
Okay, yes,
Oh.
yes. And I was the golden barbarian for Camel Cigarettes. And I would go to nightclubs looking like a Mongol, basically,
You're so
a
wet.
gold armored Mongol, and interact with people. And yeah, but I don't smoke, I don't drink, I never did any of that.
Let me tell you, there was a period in time which those Mandarin mints saved my friggin' life. I love those.
I don't think they saved.
I don't think that's how that
No, no,
works.
I'm just
Stacey.
saying.
No, but they did give me a terrific excuse to smoke cigarettes I enjoyed. Big Dog says, do we name him or her Knight?
Yes, we will name El Goto this evening.
Lucky says, looks like a goat for sure. I wasn't saying it looked like a rat, just my imagination wondering what the design. 1980 says, if you fur it right, maybe a rat had thick whiskers, raised ears.
I have to, well, yeah, these ears are going to come off, so I will have lots of options. And I will probably do a little more devilly-esque version of this, the new adventures of, not Clarissa. What's that witch's name on Netflix?
Sabrina.
Sabrina! That's it.
Chilling Adventures of
Yeah,
Sabrina.
that's the one.
Because I haven't watched that.
That devil design is beautiful.
Is it?
It's a really nice old man of the forest type look.
Logan Chase says, goat eating.
Should probably watch.
Hello,
It's
Dan.
pretty Satan-y. Like I can only take a little bit of it at a time, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty
I have a hard time watching like 5 episodes in a row.
It does have Michelle Gomez, though, who I freaking love.
I don't know who that is.
She's the gal who plays the evil teacher that gets possessed or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. In the comics, she's Lady Satan.
Hold me closer, Lady Satan.
Logan asks,
Don't
will
think
you
that's
add
how-
hair or make it bloody?
What's the question?
Will you add hair or make this bloody?
This will have hair. There'll be a couple versions, and at least one version will be bloody, I'm sure, because of who I am as a person.
1980 says Satanists hate that show from what I hear.
Well,
Well, there was some kerfuffle there because they used the Baphomet design.
yeah,
that
they used their
sculpture.
statue.
They used their statue without permission. Like they didn't even contact the sculptor with that, so he didn't get paid for it being used in the show until afterwards. I think.
Yeah, they made their own version, but still,
They made it right
did
back.
rip off his design.
Chiwaki Moon asks, will the devil goat mask be for sale?
Yeah, of course. I sell everything. Yeah. I don't really make a lot of stuff for me, but this will be the first one, maybe not the very first one, because I gotta figure out how to pour it exactly. So, like the second or third of this is going to go to the client who ordered a goat mask. Yeah.
And Ezekiel.
But I kind of have to perfect it then.
Logan says, Alan, gotta make that paper money.
It would be nice. This is, I am remarkably non-essential in what I do for a living. So I very much appreciate the support that I get from all of you guys. You know, I'm not a fireman or nurse, or I'm not a frontline person in any way, but me trying to help is doing this. You know, I'm live, so the people who are home can stay home and maybe not be bored.
Brandon D says you tried to make a polar bear for yourself.
I did. Well, I wanted to make the bear, and like I'm gonna make the bear from Prophecy, and I'm just gonna have a bear for myself. Now, will I sell one of them? Probably. And it's not gonna be the one from Prophecy, but it'll be inspired by that.
What are we going to send?
1980 says his name could be Tri-Sixes for 3 eyes and 666. Big Dog says Diablo Cabra is Spanish for goat devil. That's my choice.
What was that word again?
Diablo Cabra.
Okay. Yeah, see, I don't want to necessarily go especially Satan-y on the name either. You know?
Attractive.
Prop of Ticket to Prop says, were you able to get any good leads on Flock?
I did get some good leads on Flock. I've actually got Flock ordered.
Richard McGrath says, I made a two-piece mold for some twisted horns. I coated both sides with latex and then coated Loctite foam, stuck them together. I got foam-filled horns. Cool.
Nice.
Shwaki Moon says, interested in the devil goat mask. Should I keep checking your website for availability?
Yeah, I mean, but you'll also, I mean, you're on here pretty often, actually, so I'm not like calling you out or anything for being weird, but you know, you'll see me working on them. You know, you'll see me working on them. And yes, they will end up going onto the website.
Awesome. Thanks. Ross Richard says, go to Taco Lips. Go Taco Lips. Go Taco Lips.
That sounds so much like Taco Lips.
Yes.
Yeah, we gotta be careful about.
Go Taco Lips.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Stacy, no.
Christine says, where'd you end up getting flocking? I'm going to have to get some in the not so distant future.
I got a message from a guy with a company named Flock U. No kidding. And I'll post a link on the Still Peace Creepers.
Oh no.
Creepers.
Too slow to tell me no. Ezekiel picked it up around with it. Go Taco Lips. I'm sorry.
Should have been faster. Next thing, it's Ezekiel too. It's going to be a T-shirt.
Yep. Oh,
Taco Lips.
tasteful Taco Lips. Okay.
Taste.
Keep working, Rue. Head down, man. Keep working. Head down. Keep working.
Ruined.
So hard to bite my tongue sometimes.
Ruined.
So hard.
Broke any chance of concentration. Made that.
I was very focused up until then.
Yeah.
I swear.
Moving on.
We're here to help, Stacy. Not whatever this is.
Ezekiel says, oh, I didn't think of that, Stacy. Quick, bury this. Yeah. Push it off the
So
screen,
funny,
guys.
Boris.
Quick, more comments.
So Boris
Jesse
has taken
Hoffman
to
says,
coming up to me, nuzzling me, and then as soon as I turn to pet him, shying back.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, I forgot
your
you were.
eyes.
is that weird?
Pet me with
Come here.
your eyes. Jesse Popper says, you're essential to me. You've been my shrink for weeks now.
Oh, you're so awesome. These
What's
guys
that?
are these
Wet.
guys are good for me.
Wet.
They help my
puppy dog.
mental stability. You do. Okay.
Uh-oh,
Go eat
watch the
something
dog.
expensive.
Viewers
Puppy
double.
love. Oh,
Dog appearance.
thank you, Brandon D. But buck pity.
Where's my buck pity?
I want my $2.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
$2.
Thor says, go taco. Brandon D says, hi, taco, show peaches.
Stacy,
I didn't do it!
look at what you did.
Yes, where's Cheney?
You could have.
Let's go.
He's laying down over here.
He and the professor.
Yet.
All right. I need to look at a nose.
Oh, look at my nose. My nose is scaling
It
because
says
I burned
$2
it.
cash.
Goat nose.
Ezekiel says, hold, Rue, hold.
All right. So, Stacy,
Yes.
why don't we flip the camera around and then you can read comments from the El Phono.
Okay.
Don't give that goat demon $350.
Banana.
Okay. And we should have them.
I'm enjoying while these are still rolling
They're going to be rolling.
for a little while.
Yeah.
Look out, guys. Look out.
Rolling.
Look out, guys.
It is.
All right. I'm headed to the goats. Yo, you know where to go to. Yo, where to go to.
Yet.
Yo.
Where my goats at?
You say nay, nay.
I say nay.
Mr. Big Dog still wants Cheney. He's not even in here, is he? I do not see him.
I thought he was laying down.
Boris is my favorite, but he has to be. So, there's that.
Michael Astor says Malum Capra Latin for evil goat.
Malum Capra. You guys like complicated names.
Yes, they do. No shame in that game. 1980 says, just went down the rabbit hole on names of the devil and their origins. Very interesting. There are many different versions across beliefs.
Now see, Scratch might be something good. Old Scratch, that's a good one.
Finny 2.0 says, call it Tom Brady.
Greatest of all time. Another greatest of all time.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah. You're here for references.
I guess. It's just really funny.
But you're from like Tom Brady Hood, right?
No.
No? Where's he? Is he Patriots? Who's
Yeah,
he?
Tom Brady's Patriots.
Oh.
Brandon D
I built
says,
the haunted house at this stadium once.
how about the android faces on the cover of Kilroy was here?
Kilroy.
Kilroy was here. Dropped down there. Dan McCorson says, we have several goats if you need close-up pics.
Well, I'm going to use the interwebs. I'll tell you what, though, a lot of the stuff I picked is bad. I'm just looking at basic nose shape. That's a flappy nose like I've got. That's a open nose. And I know that they have control over their sinuses, so they can open up and close their noses.
Unfortunately, the mask will do that.
Right. I got to pick one. I've got to pick a pony and carry it out.
Stanley S says, try breed. Big Dog says, no copyright that way. Brand says, Kilroy, sorry, sticks. Philip Earl says, I'm truly amazed at how easily Alan was able to vivisect the goat snout and graft in the lump of offal, resulting in an even better face.
Don't mess with it. Don't be afraid of it. Just do it. Whatever it is you have to do, just do it. You can think about it. You can paralysis by analysis. Cut it off and go. As soon as I decided that that was my course of action, I took that course of action.
Rob O'Brien says, hello all, are we naming the goat?
We are going to name the goat tonight. And so, yeah, start putting in your votes. And who's a regular who we can have pick the name?
Who hasn't picked a name already?
Right. If you have picked the name of a mask, let Stacy know so she won't pick you.
Please.
Yeah. Courtesy and stuff.
Brandon D says, not for reference, just those faces bothered me anyways.
Okay.
Nice Day says, they have lips over their teeth that flare when they eat.
Yeah, they have like orangutan prehensile lips.
Gross. 1980 says they have oh no wait, just read that one. Ronnie Pope says Tom has now went to Tampa Bay. Christine says scapegoat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay.
Dead End Yard Hunt says Lake Worth monster. That's my hometown monster. I grew up in Hazel, right next to
What
Lake
does a
Worth.
Lake Worth monster look like?
He's a goat man.
He is.
Uh-huh.
I wish that town had a cooler name.
Yeah, it's good. It's the Goat Island.
Yeah.
Goat Island Goat Man. Lake Worth Goat Man. Big Dog says not it. Ezekiel, I've picked a name. Brandon D says Old Scratch is pretty cool. J-Lo Flick says, do you use a mold release for the latex and a plaster mold?
No, you don't. You don't. It doesn't need one.
And in fact, it'll probably hinder it.
Yeah, it causes problems.
Living on the Bluff says, give it a good old Roman name like Gotius.
Godius Maximus.
Call him Pontiac.
Pontiac.
Pontiac?
GTO. Go.
So at one point in time, I had a 1989 Pontiac Sunbird
I'm sorry.
that was infested with cockroaches.
Oh no.
And
Oh, right.
the way that I found this out was I'm driving down the road this is in Orlando. I'm driving down the road, and I'm like, oh my God, my dashboard lights are out. My speedometer light isn't on. So what do you do whenever a light bulb isn't working? You tap it. So I tapped on the big piece of plexi over top of all the instruments, and then I watched them crawl out of the way. They were all hovering over top of the light bulb for warmth. Yes. So that car didn't last very long.
Oh no.
I would bug bomb it like once a week.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Brandon D says, can we get Rue a little dish of water? Unless, of course, he likes licking his fingers. Have you been licking your fingers?
I was smoothing stuff.
He has water.
For the record,
right there.
this is a whole tub of water. It's right here between me and Rue. He just thinks his fingers are tasty.
Ooh,
Don't worry
I like
about-
this one.
about-
Okay. Dan McCorson says they can curl their upper lip up in a weird way. Strange animals. Philip Earl says the car is haunted. Rob O'Brien, Capricorn.
Oh, that's
I
pretty
like
good.
that, yeah.
That's a score. That's pretty good.
It'd be bad to say the person who's just nominated the name that I like best. You're the person who gets to choose.
You know what, though? You said Dan McCorson. I don't think he's picked anything, and he's on a lot of nights.
No, that was from Rob O'Brien.
Yeah, but Dan McCorson
Oh,
commented
okay.
something.
Yeah.
Dan, are you up for consolidating all of the names and then picking the name for the goat? I have a veto power, mind you.
Line Cook Thor says Goaty McGoatface.
Yeah. See, and I was actually just about to say, like, I'm not going to let the name, Satan McDevilly fly.
Rob O'Brien says you parked under a palmetto tree.
Oh, yeah, rough stuff, man.
Philip Earl says Joe's apartment. Oh my god. Welcome to Joe's apartment. It's our apartment too. Tal's got the funk. And little animatronic puppet cockroaches. They were fabulous.
I actually had a band that we used to cover.
Covered Funky Towel. Nice. Den and Yard Hunt says he was rumored to live on Greer Island in Lake Worth. Yep. They got a really cool article about him, like framed in the River Oaks Library, which is the town right next to Lake Worth. Philip Earl says Capricorn sounds great. Dan McCorson says sure.
Okay. So,
All right, Dan, this is on you.
Yeah, you have 8:45. It's 8:37 right now. 8:45. I want a name for this goat. So you guys keep coming up with names.
Welcome to
and-
Thunderdome.
And let Dan know what they are.
Dead End Yard Hunt says Billy the Goat. Oh, Hallie Bookout's here. Hey gang, I miss you guys.
Hi,
I
Hallie.
think a cool name would be Eden. Edenn.
Edenn. Eden.
Eden.
Eden. Alora Dana.
Line Cook Thor says I like Rod's name. Rob, I assume he means.
Yes. Line Cook Thor is the master of posting something with one letter off, and then there's a little bit of like, what is? Oh yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rob O'Brien. Yeah, well, my vote is for Capricorn. Yeah, same. Brandy says Clueless Morgan. That's from a movie. Anyone know which one? Stars Tim Curry and a frog. So the Muppets take. Oh shit.
Language.
I'm sorry. The Muppet Treasure Island. Is that the one? With Tim Curry, the pirate.
That would be a fraud.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, so I think I have the goatiest nose of all my references.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about my goat nose. I really thought I was going to look at the reference and then have to change a bunch of things.
It's more petite and set back a little bit. Like that one profile that you got of the actual goat up
My
there.
fear,
Yeah,
my
see,
fear is that it's going to look werewolfy as soon as I adjust the nose.
if you slide it back.
What, the nose back?
Yeah. Like if you look at your actual goats on there, not your art goats.
Actual goat
Maybe.
pics.
If they
There we go.
there's one.
See how it's angly?
The lips are a little
A
puffier.
little bit. Okay.
And there's an actual profile one here.
No, that's
What?
a mask.
There,
Yeah,
oh,
see,
no, not
That's
that,
fake.
not that one.
fake too.
Not
but
that one.
one actually had the puffier lips.
Other one. We got Leo to Capricorn. Gregory Haynes says, my wife had a goat named Theseus. Dead End Yarn Hunt says, Pagan from Dragnet. That one. It's got that real pronounced slanty, a little bit slanty there. It's a technical term. Horror Beauty says, looks like Pope Lick Monster.
Again, Pope Lick.
Pope Lick.
Really can't name it Pope Lick.
Stanley S says, looks like it could be an Egyptian god with the right garb on.
How's that? Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, big time.
Anyone ever asked you if you were a god?
Say yes.
You say yes.
Brandon D says, just facts, ma'am.
Is that from something?
What?
If anyone asks you if you're a god, you just say.
Yeah, it's from Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Oh.
Taught our children that very young.
How's that
I
better?
love
Yeah.
Ghost Film. Yes.
I think that's the one thing that took it from being looking like a cow.
That definitely
To
eliminated the
goat eater.
bovine quite a bit.
Apparently, a goat is more angular.
Yeah. Goat's Satan.
Yeah.
Star. Think about the layout of that.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
they lay it out. Nobody puts
Well,
a cow on a star.
And the overall like narrowness of the it's pointier, like not that sculpt, but the real goat quite a bit
Yeah.
pointier. Billsybub, Will Carrot says.
Billy's the bub.
Billy's
Bill-
Bub. Billy's Bub would be
Billy's
funny.
Bub.
But again, way
I
Satan.
didn't say
Wait,
me.
say me. Dan McCorson says, more names, please. Ronnie Pope says, please don't name it Pope Lick.
Yeah. It's not fun unless you're the Pope.
Roll those out.
1980 says, finally, he has lips.
Yep, just move that nose back a little bit. Reference, man. Reference.
Big Dog says, make him watch Ghostbusters 5 or 6 times.
But not. It's not lips.
I just watched it
it's
recently.
a muzzle.
Yeah.
What he needed was the muzzle. Lips are different. This is muzzle, and that's what we just gave him a little bit of, which is good.
My son actually really likes Ghostbusters, so I watch Ghostbusters quite a bit,
Yes.
but just didn't catch the reference.
Rachel Powell says, I think Capricorn is the best I've heard. Daniel Wilson says, bleat.
I like it.
Meh.
That's pretty good too.
Brandon D says,
Capricorn's my favorite.
one, Mr. Bachelor was the donator last night. Yes. Tim Bachelor.
Oh, is he on?
No, he was the guy who donated last night.
Okay.
Thank you, Brandon.
Yes, thank you.
Scott McDonald says, Goatbuster.
Games for me.
Willie Carrot says, Billy Gloat.
This is life in the shop. Just like to put that
Chance
out there.
Speck asked, is that your son?
Is this my son?
Oh God.
No, this is my friend Rue. If I made really poor choices,
No.
maybe.
When you were 4.
I was a rambunctious 4-year-old.
Big Dog says, you should know them then. 3 minutes to go. Thank you, Robert White. Paul Bennett says, Goat Stato. Andy's on. She says, I find it amusing that Rue didn't get the Ghostbusters reference, especially since Cash watches it all the time.
He was just saying
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Gregory Haynes says, Cabraxis the Mystical.
Wait a minute, what's Cabraxis from? Cabraxis, I know that. Oh, I know Cabraxis. What's... Oh! Is that a thing? It's a thing.
1980 says, Billy Bleeder. Chance Speck says, just joined. What's happening?
Well, we're naming the goat, so if you have a good name for a monster goat mask, put it on there.
Speak now, because we're running out of time.
Post it. We got like 2 minutes, and then Dan McCorson is going to pick the name of this mask. He'll probably pick a couple because I'll veto all the Satan ones.
Paul Bennett says, Statin.
Scott Colhart says Baphomet. Brandon D.
Not exactly Satan-y, but let's just put it in the neighborhood.
Michael Lassiter says Rob is Alan's son. Rob is older than
Yeah,
Alan.
Rob's a year older than me.
Oh, Chance says, I just joined and heard son, so I was like, is that your son? Aaron Chapman says, Iowa, a Slipknot reference, or buckshot.
I worked very, very hard to not have any children. Like,
Or
I
any
missed out on a lot of good times to make sure that I had no children.
Richard McGrath says, I made a two-piece mold for some twisted horns. I coated both sides with latex, then...
He said that again.
You did say that again.
Yes. Yes, that's awesome.
Chiwaki Moon says, Cabraxis is my vote.
What is Cabraxis?
Oh.
Like, I know that name. That's a name.
8:45, time's up. Abraxas, starring Jesse the Body. Chance says, oh, lagging. Sorry, guys.
Are we lagging?
That's a Minnesota reference for you.
It could be them who's lagging. Everybody, do you have lagging or is it just Chance?
Big Dog says Rob acts like a kid. Michael Lester says he doesn't act it.
Boy, man,
Woof,
Rob's not even here. You're all beat up on him.
Roast. 1980 says Tres Cabra. Otenebration says, good evening, everyone. What's everyone doing tonight?
I'm making it go.
Making a murder hornet. Look, dipping my finger in the water and then smoothing it on instead of licking my fingers.
Says it's better. Chance Beck says savage. Daniel Wilson says hillbilly. Goatzilla from Lucky. Gregory Haynes says Cabralone. Cabralone? I don't know.
Well, Cabretto is like goat tacos, right?
Vincent Can Goat.
That's funny.
Weird Kid Show says, I love that monkey tutorial. I really have to try it.
Hey, thanks, man.
Dan Yardhunt says, I know somebody that had a band called Chester and the Jessica Goat Brothers.
Okay.
Interesting.
What? All good in the lag department down under. Thanks, Ezekiel. No lag, no lag, no lag.
If the
Paul
guy in
Bennett,
Australia says your feed is good, your feed's probably good.
Paul Bennett says Crotopus.
I'm not going to end anything in the word puss. I just don't think that's good.
Brandon F says, loving the three-eyed goat monster.
Thank you.
All right, Stead Yarnhunt, Billy the Kid. Michael Lester says, time's up.
Yeah, come on, Dan.
They said Capricorn.
Dan said that?
Dan says Capricorn.
Okay, that's a good one.
Chance Speck suggested Scabbers from Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. That's that special one just for us.
Maureen Casali says bad guy. it's a Billie Eilish joke. Ezekiel said Goatsicle. Horror Beauty says Berea.
Wow.
Scott Colhart says Ramsey.
Play the old card.
Ramsey.
Abraxas was a pagan deity of sorts, then turned to an occult figure. It was just a solar reference for the number 365. Richard McGrath says Cliff.
Cliff. Steve.
Chance Speck says Ruger. 1980 says
Well,
Trace
it's already over
Cabrallicus.
because Dan has chosen, and Dan chose
Capricorn.
Something that Ellen actually liked.
1980 said Trace Cabrallicus. Hello, Pretty Wicked Desire. Rob O'Brien said, woohoo! Scott Creighton said, serrate with the A being the number 4.
That's interesting.
Brandon D said it was a Gnostic highest deity. Sorry, not vegan. Rob O'Brien asked, how is the Murder Hornet?
Spin it around. It's Murder Hornet City.
Come on down to Murder Hornet City. We got all the Murder Hornets you need.
Dropping jewels.
Take me down to the Murder Hornet City.
Oh, wait, yeah, Ezekiel has a good point. We checked it's not trademarked before we get excited.
Oh.
Somebody Google it.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, because, yeah.
Dead and Yard
Okay.
Hunt says Ramsey. Horror Beauty says normal name like Steve. It'll throw them all off every time.
Call him Bill. Bill.
1980 says Tress, 3, Cabra, Goat, Oculus,
He's
Eyes.
grown up, so you don't call him.
So I bought all kinds of wrinkling tools for doing just what I'm doing right now. But my favorite ones to use, this is Q-tip pipes
Stems.
that I have taped to this. And I just love what it does.
Oh, hey, Lucky says not seeing Capricorn anywhere on Google.
Hooray.
That's exciting. That's a good name. Good job, Rob.
Yeah.
Rachel Powell says when I Googled it, it just said I misspelled Capricorn. 1980 Tricabra Oculus. 3 goat eyes. There you go. Brandon D says seems to be a DeviantArt character circa 2017. Otherwise, just screen names or handles for platforms.
Okay.
Seems like you're in the clear. Ezekiel says there's something on DeviantArt. Dan McCorson said I was going to throw a name out there, Buckthorn.
I can see that.
Whoa. That's not that tool. That's a different tool.
1980 says corn flavored juice pouch, Capri Corn. Meh. Horror Beauty says, what will you use for antenna for the Hornet? I asked late last night and had to leave early. Sorry for the repeat question.
We will probably use something called backer rod. Backer rod.
Which is?
Well, it's an insulating material. It is it's a gray rod, but it's like 20 feet long and half an inch wide or so. I use it a lot for stuff.
Chad Flyboy, it is not wifey tonight.
No,
It's Stunt Shannon tonight.
it is Stacy, and Rue is in the house sculpting.
Open.
Horror Beauty asks, backer rod? Question mark.
Yeah, it's really amazing stuff. I use it all the time. It's one of my staples that I just keep in the shop.
What is its intended purpose?
It is an insulator. It's insulation, like
Uh,
around a door frame. Hello, Jones.
L'Orange!
Use it a lot when you're installing,
Oh my
when
god.
you're doing
That's really cute.
like caulking. You're doing caulking around frames and stuff like that. If you use backer rod in between it, you can use it to fill large gaps, so you don't have to try and fill it with caulking.
It's an insulating material.
Yeah, it's like really tiny pool noodles.
Yeah, really tiny pool noodles.
Lucky 2011, I didn't see anything about Capricorn. However, if you'd like to know the 7 ugly truths of loving a Capricorn, I can tell you.
Awesome.
Horror Beauty says it's the awesome Stacy tonight. Well, it is definitely the Stacy tonight. Stanley says you used it on the Predator.
I did use it on the Predator.
Larry Hughes says just got back on. What's the monster hornet looking like?
So the Monster Hornet is coming along. And again, that's a creature that's going to thrive in finishing. Both of these are going to be much more impressive masks than they are sculptures, simply because of what we add on afterwards.
Yeah.
But Murder Hornet is actually coming along rather well. I was a little concerned last night, I'm not going to lie.
Well,
But he
I
pulled
ran
through.
without reference for way too long, and lesson learned: use your reference.
Kept running.
1980 asks, will this goat have 3 horns?
He will have 4 horns.
Horror Beauty says, so it's a foam, not like a metal rod. Gotcha.
Yes.
I know what it is now.
Yeah, it's foam.
Rodney says it's also used for the cuts between concrete.
Yep.
Yeah, in concrete, yep.
Ezekiel says, yeah, the Capricorn blurb on DeviantArt is kind of non-official stuff. Tony Sosa, hi all from Odessa, Texas.
Hello.
Neighbor.
Out in the flatland.
Yes.
It's like pool noodle materials. CS Creations. Mr. Spidey says 3-Eye Goat is sponsored by Whataburger.
Everything is sponsored by water.
Whataburger brand work juice. Thank you for the link for Backer Rod, Scott.
Thank you.
CS Creation says it comes in different sizes, like 3/8 inch to 1/2 inch. Thank you, L. Copeland. $5.
It also goes, thank you.
Thank you.
It also, you can get it up to like 1 inch because they use it on log cabins in between the logs. So
Ask him how he knows.
one of the times when I was at Dark Hour, I ordered the special 1 inch for some projects we were doing.
Rebecca Butler says, hello from the Space Coast, Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Hello. I was stabbed by a stingray on Cocoa Beach.
Oh.
Good times. Have fond memories.
That's
Brandon D. Whataburger, our cups are forever.
I keep them for a while. I mean, I keep them.
these ones happen to be fresh.
They do. But, all right, so yeah, these are fresh. But just so you don't doubt me, if you look over here at that shelf by the door, look at all those saved Whataburger cups that I just rinse out and then I use next time.
You can flip that around. I'm just using my phone too. If you
Okay,
want
that
to
just helps me see.
Yeah. What everybody's looking at.
And sometimes you can see detail in sculpt.
Rebecca Butler says, oh my God, hi.
Hi. Hello, Rebecca Butler.
Rebecca Butler.
Tutwork Studios, hello from Maine.
Yes. Cutworks is one of our Maennonites.
Mennonites.
Michael Astor says you can get it up to 2.5 to 3 inches.
Yeah, I mean, big stuff. At that point, just buy a pool noodle.
Ezekiel says, burgers. Put that Whataburger on the bucket list. Ezekiel, we could bring you some, but it won't be the same. Like, Rebecca Butler says, those are nasty. Hope you healed well. Your bites on your shirt.
Oh, thank you. Yes. It says,
Not your
Super
bite.
confused.
it says, things are fine. Yeah. I wore this the other day when I was polar bearing. Because if I got blood on it, no one would know.
Philip Earl says, sounds like my good times, too.
All right, I think it's time to get nutty.
Oh,
Animals.
This is backer rod right here. This is backer rod. This is 1/2 inch backer rod. This is 1/2 inch backer rod with a floral wire run through it.
Horror Beauty says, lol, Alan will be collecting Whataburger cups. Send him as many as you like.
I just use them.
Chiwaki Moon says, I miss Whataburger. I used to live in Magnolia, Texas.
Where are you now, Chewaki Moon?
Larry Hughes says, Goat is looking good.
Thanks. Is this water or alcohol?
1980
Water.
says, if you get the triple Whataburger, better make the list short.
Cheater.
What?
You knew it.
Ezekiel asks, is Whataburger a Texas thing?
It's based in Texas, yes. They were recently bought by a company in Chicago.
And we're not happy about it.
And people in Texas are angry, okay?
Kind of a South thing in general.
Rebecca Butler says, Stingray and Cocoa Beach.
Yes.
Good night, Michael Lassiter.
But I don't hold a grudge.
Hallie
Good night, Michael
Bookout.
Lassiter.
Good night, sir.
Hallie Bookout says, looks amazing, Alan.
Hey, thanks. Hallie, you should come out to the shop sometime when you feel safe and comfortable doing so.
Brandon D says, that's for when you make cat costumes and need a tail.
Sometimes.
Chiwaki Moon says, hello, Wisconsin.
It's Saturday night.
I miss hearing about Wisconsin. WISN used to be one of the stations I captioned. So I got a lot of Wisconsin stuff all of the time.
And now you're Wisconsin light.
Yeah, I have no regular Wisconsin updates in my life. It's sad.
But how is Milwaukee doing?
I know, man. I need to know. What's the weather like? They had the nicest MC. We're friends on Facebook. The guy who answers the phone in their control booth.
Yeah.
He was chatty. Christine says no Whataburger here in Connecticut.
No. No, you will not have it.
Larry Hughes says my package should be here Saturday. Can't wait.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mr. Spidey asks, how will you make the horns?
EVA foam. I have several patterns that I use. Sometimes I just make them, but EVA foam is how they will be done.
1980 says, if I hit the lottery, I'm opening a Whataburger in St. Louis. Hell yeah. Chewaki Moon, hanging out down the street, the same old thing we did last week. Nothing to do, talk to you. Yeah. That 70s show theme song. Hallie says, I'd love to. Yeah, no monsters, no sword fighting.
Hallie says what?
Hallie says, I'd love to. Love to help conjure monsters with y'all.
Sure.
1980 says, ask ALEXA what the weather is in Milwaukee.
Alexa, what's the weather like in Milwaukee?
Currently, Milwaukee, Wisconsin is 55 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Tonight,
Sounds
you can
terrible.
expect clouds with a low of 50 degrees.
Terrible.
50
That sounds
degrees.
lovely.
Terrible.
I'm about it. Rebecca Butler, will you post links to your stuff later? I'm a total noob here, and I'm so glad I found you.
Hey, well, hello. Yeah, we can do that. Maybe Scott will. He'll post a.
Scott is still here.
Yeah, if Scott is still here, he may post a link to the website where we do stuff.
Throw up the link to the Facebook too.
Mostly what I do is I make a lot of masks and costumes, but I also have a YouTube channel where I have DIY stuff for all kinds of things. It started as haunted house specific, but it has kind of morphed into just general prop making, and like I started it before cosplay was a thing. So now you'd say it was a lot of cosplay stuff. But yeah.
Brandon D says Wawa came to South Florida about 2 to 3 years ago. Not Whataburger, but they have loyal fans.
Man, I love Wawa. A Wawa peach tea is delicious.
You can get Whataburger in Pensacola.
Can you? You could for a while. They may have pulled out of Florida.
Really?
Yeah, they pulled out of the Orlando market. They were there, then they left.
Christine says the South has all the good fast food chains. Connecticut only has the basic chains, and then we have Dunkin' Donuts every dang block.
Yes, you do. And then if you go further south, like to South Carolina, Georgia, when you hit the exits off of I-95, there's a Waffle House you'll see on all four corners. Man, I love Waffle House.
Jerry Collins says, who sing? And I need to go on a voice.
Oh, that was Stacy.
Oh.
Stacy you were singing the theme song to the 70s show.
Oh, yeah. That was me. Sorry.
I sing all the time.
I sing all the time, too.
No
Yeah,
one says
we both sing too, but
No
we're
one
terrible.
says I sound good. Yeah.
Dan McCorson says, we just got the leaves on the tree today in northern Minnesota.
Where in northern Minnesota? Uh-oh.
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 Big Dog says In-N-Out Burger is better. Them's fighting words, friend.
Ooh.
I'll allow him to be wrong. I don't mind him being wrong.
Lucky says, well, gotta get up for work early. I'll finish watching tomorrow's sculpts look great.
Bye, Lucky.
Chewaki Moon says, it's actually warm here today.
I want to know this northern Minnesota stuff.
Give me that. We're behind a little bit.
Rue is from Bemidji. Just letting you know. Nobody else is going to catch that except for Minnesota boy.
Brandon F says, Wawa is awesome. Christine says, I wish we had Wawa and Sheets.
Sheets. I like sheets.
1980 says, the goat resides in the same category as the Minotaur. These next questions require an Alan. You want to spin yours around and talk about it since he's not here?
Sure. We're getting
While
into
the boss is away.
Murder Hornet is starting to get into artistic liberties areas. 'Cause I really want the mandible area to be very
Mandible-y.
monstery and not specifically buggy.
Tell a story, Rube.
Tell a story.
Tell a story. Story time. Better be quick.
I don't know. No stories. I said this yesterday. I'm terrible at on-the-spot storytelling. I'm just not the guy for it. I don't know. Back to Alan.
Did you have a story?
No,
We did talk about the sculpt.
I did talk about this.
Okay.
1980 says the goat resides in the same category as the minotaur. CS Creation asks, where will the actor be looking out from the goat mask?
His eyes, like these eyes are exactly where the actor's eyes are going to be. So this third eye has to be pretty good, or it has to be different. Like I could do like a full white eye up here, or a lavender eye, and that way there's two eyes that are normal, and then the third eye is a different eye. Maybe I'll LED it.
1980 says fantasy, mythic, horror. Richard McGrath says, hi, I'd like to join the Stilt Beast Studios Facebook. I put some pictures of art and some masks I've made.
Yeah,
Please
his
do
masks
join.
are awesome. I've
We'll
seen them.
get you in there. Brandon F says, Wawa Peach Tea is the bomb.
It is the bomb.
Brandon D says, they took away our Sonic for about 25 years. Rob O'Brien says, I love some Waffle House. Yes, now I'm hungry again. Gregory Haynes says, I believe Whataburger is still in Jacksonville, Florida. Christine says, I'd be sad if that Sonic shakes. The food, meh. 1980 says, my sister-in-law bought me a bag of Whataburgers last month. CS Creations, how about Five Guys burgers?
Five Guys is good.
Five Guys is good.
They're good
A
for-
little too expensive.
They're good for a chain burger.
Dan McCorson says, Canyon, Minnesota, just north of Duluth.
Wow.
What I'm doing right now, guys, is I'm watching these goat references, and I'm just looking at all of them, and I'm looking at my goat, and I'm figuring some things out. I just saw something in one that I kind of liked.
Chad says, how's the Killer Hornet coming along? Did you catch that update, Chad?
It's good, yeah, he just spun it around.
Big Dog says it looks cartoonish.
Oh, because he hasn't shaped up the things yet.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's going to be very smooth and kind of cartoony anyway, because a lot of that's going to be done in paint.
Janine Lauren says, Five Guys is the bomb. 1980 says, cute caterpillar, dude.
Oh, multi-purpose.
Tubwork Studios says, just found out my biggest LARPing property near me. Have you
It
made any
definitely
costumes for
shrimp
that
potato.
community? Dang, safety goggles, friends.
This is my life. This is my real life. They can't. Got me in the eye.
I'm getting better at this. I had to trim it down. I needed it shorter. Yeah.
Okay, Tubwork says, just found out my biggest LARPing property near me. Have you made any costumes for that community? I have.
What's their name?
He's your friend. He's
Tower
not your
Studios.
nice friend either.
But what's
For
the...
the LARP community?
Oh yeah, I have, absolutely. Good friend of mine has a company that does a lot of LARP stuff, and he'll get mask blanks from me.
Scott Colhart says, the Bemidji Beavers.
Yep.
1980 says,
Oh
already
yeah.
shot down
I'm
my
a big
laser
Beavers
rifle.
fan. Just saying.
CS Creation says, okay, cool. Figured it might be tunnel vision for the mask.
No, yeah, it's eyes, man. You'll be able to see well. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Chiwaki Moon says, I miss Luby's Cafeteria and Jack in the Box.
Okay.
Lubies are kind of dying.
Yeah. Well, boy, cafeteria style anything these days is probably not doing great.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Jack in the Box wasn't everywhere.
Oh yeah.
It's Checkers, like in Florida. They have Checkers, which is pretty much Jack in the Box.
Masato, so cool to see you
Checkers is
guys. Hope
pretty
everyone's
much-
good today.
White Castle.
No, Crystal is pretty much
Crystal
White
is
Castle.
White Castle, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Rebecca Butler, oh my god, you have a monster camp. I'm a face and body painter. I would love to take classes from you.
Oh, cool.
Join the Facebook group, Rebecca. We'll probably be announcing stuff
Yeah,
there.
Rebecca, how'd you find us, by the way?
Big Dog says, ooh, laser goat.
And I'm not necessarily opposed to a version with a laser in the eye. But,
1980 says, 2 Jack in the
We
Boxes
talked
in
about
my
this last
town.
night.
John Royce
Problem
says,
with laser eye.
I thought Checkers was Rallies. Apparently his Rallies out west, according to Brandon D.
Yeah, that's, again, another.
Christopher Lazat, do you have
All the same.
Fuddruckers burgers in Texas?
Yeah. we do.
Sure do.
Yeah.
Driver
One of my
5,
favorite $20 burgers.
Driver 5.0 says, what's the word on dog days? If it's happening, I might try to come out. I'll drive.
I don't know yet. Well, we don't know. We have to make
Sorry.
sure that our,
Do that to him mostly.
we have to make sure that that the city will let us. We have to make sure that we'll be sanctioned to do so. Right now, we're not allowed, but the landscape changes all the time.
Hi, Al.
Which Al?
I'll
Driver.
Gotcha.
That's what he says.
Christine Savetti says, I tried crystals for the first time a little while ago in Florida. Wow, worst fast food I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, that's pretty common assessment actually.
1980 says, no checkers is Rallies.
It's better if don't get the onions. The onions tend to give people stomach problems.
Oh.
It's just like White
JLo Flicks asks, where's the best place to get wed clay in your opinion?
Somewhere close to you because you don't want to pay for them to ship it. So the best place to get wet clay is at a ceramic supply store within a 2-hour drive of where you're working on it.
Rebecca Butler says she was just looking around on YouTube.
Okay.
Nice.
Brandon F says White Castle is awful. Rachel Power says Checkers and Rallies are the same chain. Dan McCorson says, I'm attempting to open up a haunted attraction this fall. If the COVID thing lightens up, hopefully we'll be able to open.
I think we'll be fine with modifications then. We have an event in July that we normally do that I'm really hoping we'll be able to do.
John Royski says, if you ever find yourself in Ohio, check out Swenson's Drive-In. You won't be disappointed.
Okay.
Brandon D says,
I've had Swenson's before.
I managed a crystal for a single evening, but that story is neither safe for work or textable.
One evening.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's an in-person story. Gotcha.
Awesome.
Christine says, crystals makes White Castle look gourmet. Dead End Yard Hunt says, I nearly died from a Checkers hamburger back in the 90s. 1980 says, Carl's Jr. and Hardee's are the same chain as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Carrie
But
says,
Carl's Jr., which we have here, doesn't have the hot ham and cheese,
Mm-hmm.
Bull
which is the best fast food sandwich ever.
Or the 6-pack of cinnamon raisin biscuits.
Yes.
Which, oh my.
Yeah, I can put a hurting on some hot ham and cheese sandwiches.
Masato says, Hodad's Burgers in San Diego, if you guys ever make it out
I
there.
have been there. I have eaten a Hodad's burger.
Dirk says, Jack in the Box tacos are a horrific abomination. A tasty, tasty, horrific abomination.
See, and that's how I feel about White Castle too.
They're
I
for-
absolutely, oh my, dude, White Castle is the worst thing ever. Until I crave it. And then I can't get it
But
for months.
and Jack in
then
the
I
Box
need it.
should say Jack in the Box tacos for drunk people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
pretty much.
that's what they're for.
Need something at 2 a.m.? Are you a little cross-faded? Come to Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
We got you.
I get a pair of Jack in the Box tacos every time I go on the Jack.
Sure.
Every
Because it's
single
$1.
time.
Jack in the-
exactly.
I'm sorry.
Every single-
Jack in the Box egg rolls. That's what it's at.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've
Oh,
ever had
yeah.
that.
Philip Earl says, your talent is ready if Plano says yes. JLo Flick says, thanks. 1980 says, KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut are the same company. Driver 5.0, thanks, fingers crossed. Miss you guys. Love to be there moving mud around.
Who said that?
Al Driver.
Al, come on, buddy.
Fun fact, KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut are pretty much the only fast food you can get when you're deployed overseas too. 'Cause that's what's on.
Spastic Pug says, I have many tiny sculptures of celebrities that I've made, thinking of making a miniature Hollywood.
I saw your Danny DeVito. It looks really cool.
Rebecca Butler says, is your finished Demogorgon around? Can we see it?
No, it's not. I'm sorry. A lot of the stuff that I make, it just goes away, like because I made it for customers. So I don't really keep things. It's I make it and then it goes out the door.
I think there are some pictures of a finished Demogorgon on
Yeah.
We
Facebook.
got a partial.
Yeah. Oh, I have a starter Demogorgon. If you want to show them that starter, Stacy.
Sure. Christine says, when I tried crystals, I was driving from Florida to Connecticut. Terrible food decision. I thought Taco Bell was rough on the stomach.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat there if I had to sit in the car for a while.
Is a partially completed.
Yeah, so this is EVA foam helmet because it's got to hold a lot of weight. I make the pedals out of EVA foam. This is a sculpted latex piece. Here's where you look out of, and all those are little sockets for the teeth. So this is this piece.
Yep, Mary.
But that's how I make them.
Sato said, someone said that Gordon Ramsay's secret pleasure is in and out.
I believe it.
Brandy says, I used to love the flamethrower burger at Dairy Queen. Rhonda Pope says, Griff's is a great burger.
Griff's is a good burger. We have a Griff's in Mesquite.
Yep.
Chiwaki Moon says, the goat mask is looking awesome.
Thank you.
We also have Meteor Burger. And, which Meteor is.
In Mesquite, I thought we had it in Wiley.
Oh, there's one in
there's
Mesquite.
one in
There's one
Wiley.
right over by Griff's, actually.
Line Cook Thor says, Burger King tacos are not good at all.
Well, yes, you started that with Burger King.
Big Dog says, soaks up the booze, Jack in the Box taco.
Yes, that's what it's for.
Dead End Yard Han says, most overhyped burgers, In-N-Out burgers. Dirk says, if I ever have to pick a last meal in prison, it'll be Jack in the Box tacos. 1980 says, KFC is not the same
Hope you don't
KFC
ever have to
in
do
Asia.
It's not like the same KFC.
Not
What?
the same KFC in Asia.
Oh, yeah.
Just, yeah, like, also, McDonald's is another one of those too. I could really care less if I ever had McDonald's in the States ever again, ever. But I will go to a McDonald's in Germany in a split second because it is delicious. Because they have to use fresh ingredients.
Scott Colhart says, you must be drunk to eat White Castle sliders. Yeah, that's like obligatory.
Yeah.
It's the law.
Ezekiel says, In-N-Out protein animal style was an eye-opener for an Aussie.
Oh, yeah.
Brandy says, Rue, FOBs in Afghanistan have Burger King, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, yeah, Burger King, and then you can get Ali Al Salim in Kuwait has a McDonald's, and it's like the only one. But you can get Burger King in most places.
1980 says, China does not recognize U.S. trademarks.
No, they don't.
Christine says, I'm a sucker for Arby's and Firehouse subs.
Ooh, Firehouse and Arby's.
Yeah, I like me some Arby's too. Rebecca Butler says, I get that. I was a pro glass artist for years and only have one piece for me. The rest were commissions. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing the Demogorgon blank. Is that what you call that?
Well, the blank is just the latex part. The rest is all like a build out to make it happen.
What's that particular latex blank? Is it the plant monster?
No,
That's a separate.
yeah. I
Yeah.
made it when I made them for Universal.
Oh, okay.
So
Spastic Pike says, thank you. I'm going for a Will Vinton / California Raisin style.
California raisins.
These are for the mini sculptures of
Oh,
Hollywood.
cool.
Mr. Spidey says, Milo's in Alabama is the best to me. Amy Reed says, Meteor is by Harbor Freight in Richardson.
I guess it is in Richardson.
Rob O'Brien says, will you have to fill the snout of the goat so it's not floppy?
No. It's not long enough, and also I've got some structure in here that will help with that.
And your master kind of being a little thicker.
I'm on the thicker side.
1980 says, welcome to McDowell's, home of the Big Mick. Big Dog says, made carne asada skirt steak with an avocado salad for dinner too. Yes, from scratch.
Sweet.
Nice.
Much better. Braggart.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
I would go with him. He's looking real good. I just raised up my camera like I'm filming on this. Spastic Pipe says, I collect hilariously awful knockoff toys.
I used to have a lot of those. I got rid of them, but I used to have a bunch.
Brandon D says, oh gosh, are Big Boys still around?
Bob's Big Boy.
Masato says, my mom's burgers beat all burgers out there. Ezekiel says, man, all these options for a good
for a burger in the USA. You guys are lucky. If we want a good burger, we have to make it ourselves. Rich McGrath says, I'd rather eat dog food than McDonald's over here. In the UK, they're vile and cold.
They're worse in the States.
They're cold.
Spastic Pug says, I keep thinking the goat's off, but it's just the eyes not being weird. Yeah, it doesn't have goat pupils.
Yeah, it doesn't have goat eyes.
Christine says, was your Demogorgon used at Halloween Horror Nights, Alan? You mentioned Universal.
Yeah.
You went to Halloween Horror Nights, Florida this past year.
It was.
Newman Brown asks, will you be adding ram horns? And if so, what type of shape are you thinking?
Ram horn shape. I mean, there's a yes. So there'll be
Jacob's
so
sheep.
one of them will have 4 horns, all right, and 2 will come out from back here, and they'll come up like this, and then other 2 will be back here, and they will go up and.
No goat.
That was Spanish.
Masato asks, did you draw in the goat wrinkles or did you use a tool
I used a tool,
to draw in the goat?
this one, which is just these tubes, which are from plastic Q-tips that I electrical taped to a tongue depressor, and I made this 3 years ago.
Ezekiel says, Sweden is no good for burgers, but a Viking pizza at 3 a.m. in 4 feet of snow? Oh my.
I'm down. I need a Viking pizza.
What's a Viking pizza?
I have no idea. 1980 says McDonald's is horrible in the States too. Jesse Papa Bear says, I find Steak and Shake the best fast food burger, most homemade taste.
We have a Freddy's steak burger. That's pretty good.
I like Freddy's. Sometimes.
I like their frozen custard because I'm a fatty.
Brandon D
Not a
says,
fan of their fries.
I did the Halloween Horror Nights behind the scenes in 2018 and someone was working on it for the wall scare. Was that you, Alan?
No, I worked here. I made every now and then I make things for theme parks for Halloween. So, but they're made in my shop here, and then I ship them out. We've done Halloween costumes for Six Flags, for Universal, for Gatorland, for Knott's.
Many.
There's another one. I make a lot of stuff.
Brandon F says, Japan is a mayo pizza. Yucky.
Wow, I don't want it.
No thanks.
Big Dog says, In-N-Out buys as much as they can locally, always fresh. Ugh, Masato says they have mayo margaritas too. That like physically turned my stomach.
That sounds nasty.
That sounds ungood.
Dirk says, I live in a tiny town in the Rocky Mountains. We have a McDonald's, anything else is about a 60-mile drive away.
Awesome.
1980 says, all our Steak and Shakes have been closed by health departments. They are notorious on YouTube and Facebook for nasty kitchens.
That is true.
Rebecca Butler asks, are all your masks latex? I have a true latex allergy and wonder about alternatives to latex.
No, I do silicone. I do
EVA foam.
yeah, EVA. A lot of what I do is just EVA foam, in all honesty. It all depends. I use the material I think that's going to be best for that critter. I tend to work in latex a lot because I enjoy it, but you can also do neoprene as opposed to latex.
Brandon says, oh, that's cool. I saw it in person in bright lights behind the scenes, and it looked great.
I didn't make all of them. I made a couple of them. They had a couple different styles.
Rebecca Butler says, I do use latex for small prosthetics for others, but not for myself. Brandon F says, mayo is the vomit of confidence. I mean, I like mayo, just not in the context of a margarita.
I don't want a
or
margarita.
pizza.
I don't want a mayo margarita.
Oh.
I don't think I do.
Elote corn. Oh, yum.
Yeah.
Mm.
I like elote.
Masato says that wrinkle tool is wicked awesome.
It works good, yeah. Another thing that works really well, it's just like one of these 80s hairbrushes that has a little plastic nubs on them. I don't want to do it on this, but
But you could.
and then you brush that out, and you can get all kinds of nice little effects with it.
Philip Earl asked, does the Viking pizza have surströmming fermented fish on it? I don't know. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong.
I don't want that.
Surströmming? Okay, says, I love mayo, but only up to a certain point. Rebecca Butler says neoprene, awesome.
Yeah, look at Creature Cast, cold cast neoprene.
1980 says this became a 70s king full flick. Mouth moves, voice comes 2 seconds later. Oh no, we got some lag.
It could be them. Doesn't have to be us.
Kung Fu. Oh yeah, not king full Kung Fu. Okay. Collier Wilms says some guys apparently use mayo as conditioner.
Oh yeah.
I've seen that used to kill lice. Like Masato says you are the MacGyver of sculpting.
I don't know. I just like doing stuff.
Brandon D says, did you have that brush laser cut to get a small section? Or did you just snap it?
I use my chop saw. Like I just held it and I cut it on the chop saw. Yeah, that's what I did.
Safety third.
Yeah, it wasn't a good idea.
But it should be safety third, though. Like.
So I'm just putting some like character warts like on this. I'm gonna tone them down a little bit with a brush, but a lot of times you just need something on it to break it up.
Tony Sosa says, what's the best clay to use for beginners? And by beginner, I mean I've never done sculpting before.
Yeah, okay, well, so that's a twofold question. There's two main types of clay. There is an oil-based clay which does not dry out. It is good for a beginner because it is clean to work with. You could work in your kitchen and just have a sculpture sitting on the table that you cover up that you set aside when you're done. You don't have to cover it up. It is firmer clay most of the time, so it's a little bit harder to work. Then there is water-based clay, what I'm using. It is faster to work. It is a softer clay, but it's messy. You know, there's water around all over the place here. You know, my fingers, I got slime on my table. You spray it down. What does dry turns into dust, and then you get dust everywhere. So it's not a clean material. Better to do this in a garage or basement.
Oil-based is also a lot more expensive generally.
And oil-based is more expensive, so people do tend to reuse it quite a bit. Water-based clay is cheap enough where I just throw it away when I'm done.
James Minnick says that mask looks good, Alan.
Thanks, James.
1980 says Muddy Michelangelo. Scott Creighton says back from Connor's Hangout, the goat is looking incredible.
Cool. Is Hunter's Hangout over?
Halloween Hotel says I just bought my first 20 pounds of wet clay. Do you reuse your clay after a mold is casted? How long will it last if you do reuse it? Is there any ways to reserve it to make it last longer?
Keep it moist. Keep it in a plastic bag, and I put it in there with a wet sponge and a little splash of bleach because sometimes mold can happen, and that just stops the mold from happening. So yeah, just keep it wet.
Derek asks, can someone please post a link to Alan's DIY channel? You are currently on Alan's
You're
DIY
probably
channel.
on it. It is Stiltby Studios that I'm going live from.
Big Dog says, come on, footprint through the house is cool.
Yeah.
Wet clay all the way. Thank you for the Creature Cast rubber link, Scott Colhart.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Scott Creighton says, Hunter's Hangout's not over yet. I was just ready to come back to the A side.
You know what? That's this. There's no A's and there's no B's.
No.
I don't know what they're doing over there, but I'm sure it's awesome. And if I wasn't live, I'd be watching them. But I have monsters to make. I have stuff to do. Now, granted, I guess I could just not go live and work, but
Where's the fun in that?
yeah, where's fun in that? Y'all get mad at me.
Dead End Yard Hunt says, backup name, Mutton Man.
Do you know the Mutton Man, the Mutton Man, the Mutton Man?
Yes, yes, I know the Mutton Man. He lives on Drury Lane. Dirk says, okay.
All right. I'm going to rip these teeth out of the goat, and then I'm going to call him finished.
Capricorn. Yeah, I like it.
Capricorn is a fun name. And and I'm taking these teeth out, and I'm leaving in this bar, and then I'll make lines on it, so I can just glue a plate of teeth that I make over top of these.
Thank you, Scott Colehart, for the to the channel.
You're wrong.
You all right?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
That sounded very doesn't do right.
I'm frustrated.
Oh no, Daphne!
Philip Earl says, Alan the goat dentist.
Yeah.
Ezekiel asks, is Mutton Man the male version of Mutton Woman?
Is there a mutton woman?
I haven't heard of a
Yeah.
Mutton Woman.
Brandon
That-
D says,
but
That
like,
must be an
what
Australian
a cool
thing.
horror character that would be,
The
though. The
Mutton.
Mutton Woman. I think that she roams the streets at night with like a burlap bag of old mutton. Yeah.
that'll smell. Brandon says, I don't want Alan to be my dentist. No offense.
As long as she's take them all out.
Yeah.
As long as she has mutton, you're fine. If she runs out,
Oh, yeah.
you're in trouble.
toast.
You are the mutton.
Luke the Mon Man says, looks good.
Thanks, Luke.
CS Creations, well, time to go back to work. Good night, friends. Good night, CS Creations.
Good night, CS.
1980 asks, how's Beastman?
It's lonely and sad and dry.
Is that what
He's
you
over in
do?
the corner. You know what? I'm moments away from finishing this. I'm gonna go over to these.
Yay!
Moving on, Beastman.
Horror Beauty says, you're always on top of it. Come to think of it, all your mods, Alan, are great and always on top of it.
Hey, did we have a baddie?
Nope.
Oh, just links. Gotcha. Okay.
Big Dog says, that's my ex-wife.
They're all your ex-wives, Big Dog.
Big Dog, stop getting married.
Yeah. I met his current wife. She's lovely.
You got a good one. Follow it there. Ezekiel says, we have a saying in Australia, lamb dressed as mutton, referring to old women trying to dress young.
Lamb dressed. That's funny. I like that. So Ezekiel, one time, I mentioned that I love like Australian phrases, and he sent me a list.
Oh my
I
god.
bet there's 200 of them on that list. It was just a big Word document of Australian phrases.
Nice.
There was a guy from Australia who worked with me one year, and when I say no worries, that's like a very Australian thing to say.
Oh yeah?
I say that because I hung out with Zach, who's from Australia,
Yeah.
and I picked it up from him.
Speaking of Zach's, it's our Zach's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday,
This
Zach.
weekend. Not today, but this weekend.
I
Preemptive
almost
birthday,
bought
Zach.
him a hat.
You almost bought him a
I
hat.
almost bought him a hat.
This is a off-air kind of conversation about a hat.
It's
huh?
a fabulously gay hat.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember in New Orleans when we saw the bejeweled hats?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
my god, I love those.
And I just ordered from that company.
Yeah.
I ordered more
Plague Doctor.
Plague Doctor masks. Yes. So yeah.
Thank you, Chihuahua Moon. Says
Oh,
$10.
thank you so much. That's so kind.
Thank you.
Otenebration asks, Alan, once you finally get permission to reopen Dark Hour, what is the minimum amount of time, days/weeks, you'll need to get ready for the next show?
One. You want the minimum? Like that's the minimum. It's like, okay, actors, all you guys show, because I trust my staff. We have a soundtrack loaded. I mean, would it be the best show ever? No. Would customers know? I don't think that they would. Because they could, we could blindly rip through. My makeup artists are good enough where I can say, okay, here's our looks, and then they can go. And then costuming is good enough where they can, we have such a backlog from doing 7 years. 4 years of that was 8 shows a year, and we made new costumes every single show. We have such a backlog of costumes that we would be fine if we had to open right away like that. Would it be the best show? Would it be the show that I wrote on paper and wanted to do? No, but you do what you got to do sometimes. So you're saying the least amount of time, like that's the least. I don't see us saying, oh no, we couldn't possibly open tomorrow. We can make it happen if we have to. And everybody should be able to do that.
Rodney Pope says, yay, Beastman.
And maybe we can only do that because I have the confidence that we can. And if I did not have the confidence that we could, my staff might not have the confidence that we could. But confidence is not an issue for Mr. Hobbs.
1980 says apparently mutton was fine dining before beef.
I enjoy mutton. Braised lamb shank is delicious. I get it at a Middle Eastern restaurant pretty regular.
Julie B says, wonderful job, Alan. So nice and scary.
Hey, thank you.
What's the name of that place?
Damassi's.
Yes. So good.
So
Brandon D says, still is fine dining, I assume. Philip Earl says, that would be great. A list of colloquialisms.
Hey, Ezekiel, do you still have that? Did you post that on the Still Beast Mask Creepers?
Yeah, put it in the Facebook group.
Still Beast Live, Creeper Mask Live, Maskmas, some groupies.
1980 says, imagine ordering a 16-ounce mutton at Texas Roadhouse.
I'm down.
Richard McGrath says, are we going to see the screaming orc you and Big Dog are working on?
Oh, you know what? Listen, Big Dog sent me pictures today. It is beautiful. It is wonderful. We've been going back and forth with pictures, and I have no doubt that I annoyed the heck out of him saying, hey, change this line, change, this eyebrow's fatter than the other one. And, just all these things. And it's like I'm tearing the sculpture apart, but I'm just saying what happens next, where would I go with it next? Yeah, I'll share those pictures. I might get one more round of pictures. I don't know. I don't need another round of pictures. I told them to mold it because I'm happy with it.
Rachel Powell says, I'm a cruel mother. I just scared the bejesus out of my kid, 16 years old. I don't even feel bad. I laughed very, very hard.
Awesome.
Team Cruel Mom for the win. Scott Collard says, 100 viewers.
Hello, 100 viewers.
Big Dog says,
Hi, 100 viewers.
married once, the ex is the best horror monster ever. Every monster you think of combined together. That's her. I think my husband may have married her as well.
She got around.
She got around. Brandon says, I use beef, pork, and lamb when I make my bolognese sauce. Spook Shack SPFX says, don't forget to hit that like button.
Hooray!
Masato says, love lamb so much. John Royski says, I got excited because Walmart started selling tri-tip by me. Most of the stores and butcher shops by me just grind it into burger meat.
Ossobuco. I used to get that in an Italian restaurant too, which was delicious.
Brandon F says, lamb's really good. Big Dog says, blushing. Ezekiel says, go Big Dog. And yes, we'll post the list to the Creepers page.
Thank you.
Big Dog says, molding tomorrow morning.
Awesome.
Ezekiel says, I married her sister. Thank you for the Stilt Beast Live Creepers Facebook group link, Scott. Just seeing your Masters of the Universe thing. I just binge watched the whole new season of the She-Ra.
Yeah, was it good?
Oh yeah, solid.
Is Hordak in it?
Hordak is in it.
Good.
Ooh,
And Horde
good.
Prime, they've expanded the Hordak role into a big thing.
No, that was in there. There was Horde
In,
Prime.
in the show, they expanded it into a...
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it.
Yeah, in one of the mythologies, Skeletor and Hordak both served, they were lieutenants under this bigger evil consciousness.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ezekiel says, lamb is a strange one. We give New Zealand a really hard time about sheep being their lovers. Brandon D says, USPS box, what's a timmer? The box up on the top shelf above the Wi-Fi password.
Oh, that is a project for a friend that I have to paint.
Big Dog says, you have my condolences, Ezekiel. Thank you for the link to the shop, Scott. Brandon says, like Tim the Sorcerer, he had goat horns.
They called me Tim.
1980 says, Horde Prime. Brandon D says, Will Conjurer. Tim the Conjurer. Luke the Mon Man says, do you draw concept for your monsters or sculpt by thought?
No, I use reference images. This
Oh, wow,
is
that turned out great.
this is like a piece of obviously the orc that Big Dog did, and like my fingers never touched the clay. We would send pictures back and forth, and he didn't get mad at me once and say, "What the heck?" Not once. I gave a lot of feedback. I bet we did like 8 different rounds of, okay, I made those changes to the next one. You know, it took a couple days sometimes in between, but really happy with that result. So we're gonna figure out how it gets to me and then how I make monsters out of it and put them up in the stove.
Horror Beauty says, love the How to Make a Monster poster in the background.
Yeah, that's an old movie, and that hung on my shop in the old house.
Christine says, maybe you said it already and I missed it, but how do you mold the ears? Seems like a tough shape.
I'm actually going to cut those off, and I'm not going to mold those ears. What I'm going to do is I build my ears out of EVA foam. I really just did this for reference, but I'll leave them on through pictures.
Masato says, so awesome. Brandon says, oh, that's very cool. Nice job, Big Dog. Good work, Big Dog. Nice work, Big Dog. Philip Earl says, I love collaborations. Rich McGrath says, that orc is awesome. Lion Cook Thor, awesome job, Big Dog.
Yes.
Yes, great job, Big Dog.
We agree.
I love that people are watching. Even more than that, I love that the people who are watching are also making in some capacity.
Yes.
We have a lot of mask makers who hang out with us, and that's very cool. Big Dog actually came to Monster Camp, and I believe he made his first mask at Monster Camp here at the shop.
Big Dog says, thank you all. Blushing really bad. We made that boy blush. Zonked out numbers.
Yeah, they work themselves into a frenzy.
It's hard being that cute all the time. Rodney Pope says, when I actually start my first sculpt, I'll need the same honesty, if you don't mind critiquing.
No, not at all, of course. I mean, I probably get 7, 8 sculptures a day of different artists who say, hey, what can I do on this? What's next? And some get mad, and they didn't want that. They wanted me to say, hey, that's awesome. Yeah, they wanted me to say, hey, that's awesome, great job. And there are times when I do, but there are some fundamentals that if you follow them, you're going to have a more successful sculpture.
Joseph777 says, hello, coming in late, but is this a Baphomet mask?
This is named Caprascorn. So it is a goat monster. It is a 3-eyed goat beast. It will be, yeah, it's a 3-eyed goat beast. It's a 3-eyed goat beast. It'll have many incarnations.
Big Dog says, Monster Camp is a bucket list. Check. Working with Alan, priceless. 1980 says, oh, still beats t-shirt monster posters featuring Alan's creations made to look like old horror movie poster. Ezekiel, can you do something like that? I'm not gonna lie, I kind of love that he's been mocking up like individual shirts for each of your monsters. I enjoy that.
I have thoroughly loved the t-shirts.
Yeah.
Like,
And I'm going to actually make a couple because YouTube sent me a thing like 2 weeks ago that my channel is now eligible because of you guys. My channel is now eligible to partner with Teespring.
Oh, cool.
So I'll be able to submit designs, and then they'll be available right on the YouTube channel.
That's very cool. Tony Sosa says, with the wet clay, do I have to keep the room at a certain temperature?
No, not at all. I work in this shop when it's 100 degrees. I work in this shop when it's 50 degrees. I prefer when it's 70, but that's just me. Again, Batman.
Brandon D says, oh, the time. Capricorn looks great. What sort of silly person doesn't want to improve their crafts? Preposterous. Good night, all.
I don't know.
Rob O'Brien says, I sculpted my first mask with Alan Ostrander at AEO Studios.
Alan Ostrander was my old, who said that?
Rob O'Brien.
Alan Ostrander was my old director of makeup. I worked with him at Terror on Church Street.
Nice.
I worked with him at Terror on Church Street. He's awesome.
Larry Hughes says, Alan helped me make my sculpt into a decent 8 for my first sculpt ever. Thanks again, Alan.
Well, I'm happy to.
Rodney Pope says, that honesty will just make me a better sculptor. Ross Richards said, is the final dork down?
There's a lot of final dork downs.
So many final dork downs. Our dork level is super high. Ezekiel says, I can make that happen. Big Dog says, hit the thumbs up. Horror Beauty says, Ezekiel is the man for shirt ideas. He has some great ones for shirts. Have you gotten Gold Button on YouTube?
I don't know what gold button is. I don't know.
So no.
Yeah, probably not. But I don't like do a lot with. I'm not good at it. Like I don't do a lot of the YouTubey stuff that I should do. Like I don't put the cards on the end of videos like I'm supposed to. Go watch this video next. You know, I'm just barely chugging along. I'm like make good content, and then hopefully I'll build an audience. And that's what I've done from the beginning. And it's I've been on for 12 years. They haven't kicked me off yet.
Ezekiel says, I really enjoy making the t-shirts. It's a good thing to do whilst I'm rendering audio. 1980 says, there's a secret algorithm. If you say shrimp in the comments, it increases the push notifications to trending.
Lies.
Ezekiel says, I think my next move is to make a Creepers theme song.
Ooh.
I'm about it. Do it. We'll karaoke it.
It's a Creepers theme song.
Tony's Animation says, Alan, you ever use latex or silicone to make texture prints on your sculpts?
I have. I don't like texture stamps most of the time, simply because it's often a repeated pattern, and I just don't like it. I might do it in an early phase of sculpture just to cover it. I have several texture pads that I use, but I don't ever want to rely on them too heavily.
Horror Beauty says, I miss Terror on Church Street.
Oh, so do I. That was a really fun place to work. Terror on Church Street and Skull Kingdom were great places to grow up.
Ross Richard says, my dork level knows no bounds. Dan McPherson says, I forgot to tell you, more real and less cartoony on the farmer husband and farmer wife masks I ordered. Disturbing and terrifying, please.
Yes, that's my plan. Yes, sir.
Horror Beauty says, Alan, I like that you are not like the overachievers of YouTubers. It's refreshing that you don't do cards and all that.
Well, you know what? To some degree, if I did a little more of that, I'd be able to do a little more of this. You know?
I haven't got to see this in person yet, so.
Lisa Arndt says, clowns would double your subscribers.
Probably. Or if I made a Slipknot mask.
Ezekiel says, no clowns!
What'd you think of Beastman there?
Well, you know what I think of Beastman. I'm huge He-Man.
HKB
Oh,
says, watching
awesome.
Peoria, Illinois.
I need
Some
one.
good folks.
Need. Thank you.
Big Dog says she speaks blasphemy. Nice to meet you. Okay, too far with clowns.
Okay, so he's really close too. So I mean, he was really close when I stopped that night. What do you need?
Big, fat, wide. Like super, super wide flat.
Go over to the box with tools.
Yeah.
Philip Earl says, oh, that look. Did you feel the radiating disappointment? I feel like the temperature dropped 2 degrees in here. Brandon F says, no Slipknot masks. Ezekiel says, Ixnay on the enclaves.
I like that you read that in Pig Latin. That was good.
Well, he wrote it in Pig Latin.
Okay.
Scott Creighton says, thinking Group could double from the Beastman with the right makeup.
Oh, I could.
We've done that actually. I did a gray one on him, and it's It is the poster. Rue is our poster child for the werewolf show in July.
Yeah.
Big Dog
And
just
it's both-
banned her. Just kidding.
My profile picture and Dark Hour's profile picture right now, actually.
Christine says, does being in the public eye and on social media ever get to be too much? I admire your patience answering questions, even if it's for the 20th time.
I do take a night off every week, whether I'm in here working or not. There are some things. Boy,
He's not good at being.
I guess I'm in the public eye,
Yeah.
but like I really feel like I'm just hanging out with friends in the shop. You know, that's the tone of what I do most of the time. So it's weird. Is it too much sometimes? I will tell you that there are several kinds of tired. I enjoy at the end of a long day when I am physically tired from the work that I have done. If we're putting together a haunt and I, shuck 60 wall panels, end of the day I feel good. I am just as tired if I have high people contact for 6, 10, 12 hours, like a trade show day, or sometimes if I'm live, then you're people tired. But if I work the queue at haunt and, every single person who goes in on that busy night, 4,000, 6,000 people, whatever, I interacted with them in some way. Then I'm people tired. And that is more tiring, in my opinion, than a regular work day of physical labor. Is it too much? No. Do people overstep bounds and stuff? No. There is a weird thing that happens because I am in people's living rooms or wherever all the time. So they really feel like they know me well, and I don't know what they look like. And of the 40,000 something subscribers I have on YouTube, and the 71 people who are watching right now, how many have I interacted with tonight? Maybe 20 of you guys. Maybe 20 of you guys are commenting. So there's a lot of people who are creepers. There's a lot of creepers out there. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to push anybody out in the open. But it's interesting because, they come up and they say hi and they know me. They really do know me because this is me. There's no character that I'm playing when I'm on YouTube.
Funny story on that one.
What's your funny story?
About Stan's friend.
Oh, yeah. Stan, who was here last night, he had a friend who did not, he thought I was playing a character. But, this is just me.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
Hallie wants to know what you're working on now. I totally missed it.
Oh, it's still the goat. I just made some changes. No, it's Beastman. And this is Beastman from the Masters of the Universe. And now my
Way before your time.
set, yes, you were being in a bag when He-Man was out. Yes. Brew just figured that one out. Joke grenade. Throw it. Yes. When Beastman was around on TV, you was not around. But anyway, it's Beastman. He's a monster guy.
Dead End Yard Hunt says, Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those bifocal peepers? They're on the table.
Oh, the dollar store.
Chiwaki Moon says, oh gosh, I lost it. I love the shape of the ears on that mask.
Thanks.
Ezekiel says, for those people that haven't met Alan, Shannon, Stacy, Rude, Rob, Stan, Alan's the same person as on these videos. There's no video version of really cool people. Big Dog says, amen. Jerry Collins says, Alan, you're down to earth. Big Dog says, creeper here. Dead End Yard Hunt says, good thing you don't know what I look like.
Yeah.
Wedge says, just got here, but I'm totally a creeper for the streams, but I learned so much more when I shut up and listen.
You know what? There's nothing wrong with that, and I didn't mean anything derogatory
Yeah,
at all.
no shame for creeping.
Yeah.
Horror Beauty says, I'm so excited for Beastman, one of my favorite cartoons.
Cool.
And some of our favorite people are creeping because they're working on their own monsters.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a lot of
Hard
people.
to type while you're working.
Yeah, they tell me that they turn this on, then it's like they're working with somebody else in their shop.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon asks, oh my god, Alan, I had your joke. Horror Beauty says, I always wanted the Skeletor action figure. Skeletor.
I have a Beastman action
quite a
figure
few.
over there.
I actually have a Castle Grayskull sitting in my den.
1980 says, I have like 10 or so Skeletors, but not bragging. Zika says, my dad says, the best way to learn is to shut your mouth.
Or ask questions. That's good too. You can also ask questions and learn things.
Clarify. Simplify. Horror Beauty says, it's nice to turn this on while working
Need
yourself.
remember take this off when I
you
sculpt
hit it?
because I hit it and I do big chunks inside of my sculpt.
Ooh. Re-rake. Horror Beauty says, yeah, got all the Skeletors, still bitter. Daniel Hunt says, yep, I'm working on my Siren Head. Ooh.
That's awesome.
Put pictures of that in the group.
I want to see that.
Yeah, I'm loving all the stuff that I'm seeing in that group, by the way. That's very cool.
Brandon says, my parents threw my Grayskull and Snake Mountain away. Aw.
No.
Christine says, I totally agree, Alan. It could be great, but they can be exhausting. I had the same experience where people approach me like we're friends, when really they are a stranger to me from social media.
Yes.
Sato says, did an impromptu sketch on the Facebook.
Cool.
It is a little weird to have people who only know you on social media who you don't know.
One
directly.
of Rob's favorite quotes came from Rue when we were at Transworld. So this is the big haunted house
I was
convention,
about to tell the story a minute ago.
and we're walking, and it's a lot of people know me on the Halloween side because I've been doing this for a long time, and I have a YouTube channel and stuff. So a lot of folks know who I am, and I don't mean that. I hope I don't sound conceited in any way when I say that, because that's not what it's about. But we were like, hey, we have like a moment. Let's go look at the Christmas stuff. There's a whole Christmas side, and we're walking through the Christmas side, and we don't know anybody
We're
there.
walking along through the Halloween stuff,
Right.
And then we went into the Christmas stuff.
Okay, well, why don't you finish telling this story?
Sorry.
Because you also know what you said. Well, no,
I'm sorry.
It's a better
I did.
viewpoint.
Because we're walking along and we're looking at and like sneaking past all of the Halloween people that are like, oh, there's Alan, I gotta go talk to him. So we're rushing through the Halloween section. We get into the Christmas side, and like we take like 3 steps in and kind of stop and do the whole like, boy, there's lots of lights everywhere. Let's look at everything. And stop, and I turn and I look at Alan and I go, what's it like to take 3 steps and lose all morality completely?
Yeah, because at that point, no one knew who I was. And that was kind of cool. It's a little liberating.
Ezekiel says, the godfather of Halloween.
Oh, see? No, stuff like that.
Christine says,
But-
I need to learn your patience with strangers.
It's not hard.
Dan McCorson says, how often do you do silicone masks? What are the pros and cons of latex and silicone?
I'm in Texas, so they're not as practical for me because you are putting your head in a plastic bag when you're wearing a silicone mask. You're putting your head in a beautiful plastic bag, but it's also a beautiful, expensive plastic bag. I won't give my boots on the ground grunt actors a silicone mask inside the show. It's just too expensive, They're going to destroy it. I love my actors, but they're going to. I
But
would
we
destroy
literally
it.
chew the scenery, so.
Yeah. I mean, some of my actors could tear up an anvil with a rubber mallet.
Coral.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they can. So we have to be careful as attraction owners and operators of that kind of stuff. So I tend to prefer latex. How often do I do silicone? I'll get silicone requests from clients. My silicone masks start about $450, $500 and go up from there.
Tina says, my husband and I are creepers working on a coffin tonight.
Oh, that's awesome.
Good stuff.
Chiwaki Moon says, Evil Lynn is my favorite. Need more female villains.
Yeah, she was my first crush.
We are huge, huge He-Man nerds, if anyone didn't know.
In case anyone was unaware. Christine says, how the heck do you get to see the show floor at Transworld where everyone constantly wanted to talk to you?
I don't.
Big Dog
I
says
don't.
cattle prod.
I'm being very careful what I say because I don't want to sound.
Ungrateful.
I don't want to sound like I'm a big deal because I'm not a big deal. You know, I'm just a fat guy who makes stuff. But walking the show floor of Transworld, I walk an aisle. To do one aisle takes me about an hour and a half because there's conversation and I'm not going to not talk to anybody. You know, I'm going to say hi. I also want to maintain being a nice person.
Scott Colhart says, FYI, it's 10 o'clock p.m. Central.
My wife is at work, so I'll go a little later. I'll probably go till 10:30.
I'm unsupervised.
Ditto.
What is Christine's thing? Christine's not here.
What do you mean? What is
Christine, what do you do? She talks about like being internet famous too.
I know her from social media.
Okay.
That's how I know her.
Christine, tell us what you do. Big Dog says, I'm on vacation, so I'm good. Or Beauty says it's 11 p.m. here. I'll have to show you my oldest daughter got a book by Hank Green. It talks about tiers of fame. Like,
Yeah.
it pretty clearly defines you know, how you escalate through being
Yes.
famous. I think you're like in between 2 and 3.
What I say is I'm weatherman famous, except it's not like one city where they all know their weatherman.
Yeah,
It's spread out throughout the whole world,
yeah.
but that many people kind of know who I am because they have the same interests as I do.
Ezekiel says, 1 p.m. here, my kids just made me lunch, I'm chilling in front of the tubes, back to work later.
Awesome.
Jesse Pompfair says, every day is vacation for me.
I love that too.
Richard McGrath says, 4 a.m. here. Dang, are you up early
UK.
or
UK.
up late?
6 hours ahead. UK. Somewhere.
So I'm using my hairbrush tool now to get me some textures.
I'm about to steal the hairbrush tool here for some different texture, actually.
I'm happy that at this stage of my life, if I'm up at 4 a.m., something's gone horribly wrong. But that used to be, like, I had to be at work at 4, so,
Terrible.
just on Sundays. The rest of the time I had to be there at 4:30.
Also terrible.
Rebecca Butler says, 11 p.m. here, my hubby just kicked me out of bed to finish watching. Were you eating crackers? That'll do. Ezekiel says, I don't take for granted I get to eat some sugar fire with you at Transworld and have a chat. I'm the lucky guy.
There are companies that I work with. I work with Fearworm, who is a marketing company for haunted attractions, and they do our marketing at Dark Hour. They do a lot of it. They're a marketing partner. I mean, you have to do your own to some extent. But they want to take their clients to breakfast, and I'm too busy. I can't. So the phase that I'm in right now on this sculpture, and I say this a lot, but I don't know if everybody gets it. I want to make everything on here look like it's on purpose. It has to look like it's on purpose and like I did that. When you just let the clay fall where it wants to, you're not in complete control of that process, and I want to be in control of that process.
Christine says, lol, definitely not internet famous. My dog's a therapy dog at our haunt. He has his own Facebook page. I like to make people laugh. I share a lot of our haunt life and home life through just on social media a lot because of my art also. Mary Jordan says, I don't comment much, just enjoy watching you create. I make Halloween props, so I've watched a lot of your videos.
Awesome.
Rich McGrath says, I love the detail on Beastman.
Thank you.
Jared Collins says, Alan, how are you going to mold around his ears?
I don't know yet. I haven't thought about it. But I will probably mold up this way, and I'll run the wall right here along the back of the ear. I'll set it right there and set it around this ridge and flap and go on up.
Tutwork Studio says, I've worked with high profile people. We would all go out to dinner and they can't go. Not as fun as everybody thinks. The dark side of fame.
Every now and then, though, like I was at a restaurant, I was at a show in LA, Halloween themed show in LA, and we ordered, and then I went to the register to pay, and they said, no, someone said they like your videos and they bought you and your wife's dinner. Well, that's very nice. But they didn't even say hi to me. They just bought my foods and ran. Not many people knew it. The reason why Beastman was kicked off of the show, the terrible cocaine problem. I'm going to represent that in this sculpture.
Yeah.
Jared Collins says, thank you for explaining the mold.
Oh, yeah. When I did all of the brushing and stuff, it leaves little boogers on the clay. And the powder and the brush get all those little boogers off. So now I'm going to have just a nice, smooth, dry, wrinkledy texture.
Rachel Powell says, most likely didn't want to disturb your meal.
Well, very polite.
Stanley says, my boy just asked if that was true. About Beastman's cocaine problem.
It's not true. It's not true. It's not true.
He's a terrible man and he lies sometimes.
I do. So, one time, I have two wonderful nieces, one through marriage and one through my sister. And my niece, we were talking about something, and we were talking about animals. And she asked why desert rabbits were bigger than regular rabbits. Well, I proceeded to explain that they eat bats. Think about this, okay? Because I explained all this out, and it makes perfect sense. They have the big ears so they can hear the bat's echolocation, right? And that way their ears they can target the bats. They have the real big back legs to jump up in the air and grab a bat. And then they have the two big front teeth to come down and break the little bat's neck so that they can eat it. Years go by. Years. And
Alan's a bad person.
And my sister calls me and yells at me because my niece explained this in class and got mildly in trouble because she insisted that rabbits ate bats, which was all my fault. So, yeah, and I'm not even sorry about it. I'm looking for kids to do it again.
Chihuahua Moon says it's snowing in Texas.
That's right, yes.
Masato says, damn those sculpt boogers.
Yeah, the little balls of clay, I mean, they do. They can ruin a sculpture, but knowing how to get rid of them is kind of key. And now I've got this nice, wrinkly surface.
Big Dog says, if I see police/fire while I'm not having dinner, I buy their dinner or lunch.
That is very kind.
Christine says, molding all that
Which
detail looks
Alan
very
still
scary.
falls into.
That's true. Welcome back, Cobweb for Candlesticks.
Hi, Cobwebs.
Hello, homie.
1980 says, I'm an acquaintance of a STL, St. Louis sports star through his nephew. I've heard some hilarious stories you can only pull off if you're a celebrity.
I am not a celebrity. There's a very small community who knows who I am because we have a common interest and I share knowledge.
Rich McGrath says, have you ever seen a horror film called Lepus? It's about killer rabbits.
Yes, I have Night of the Lepus.
Lepus.
Night of the Lepus.
For a million years, I was 100% convinced in my brain that word had a T in it, and it was leptus.
Leptus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Years and years.
So there is a weird story. I did a haunted house training in Indianapolis, Indiana 2 years ago. And the timing worked out. There's a show called Mask Fest, which is part of Horror Hound Weekend. And I went to Mask Fest. And that actually brought tears to my eyes because I'm walking down and it's like 3 aisles of just mask makers. And so many people came out of their booth and said, you got me started mask making, or you've taught me a lot. And they were so kind, and it was overwhelming. It also made me feel really old because they're like, yeah, you taught me how to make my first mask 10 years ago. But now they all had businesses, making masks, and that's cool.
Ezekiel says, I told my nephew I was God once. Same thing, months later my sister gets a call from the principal because my nephew told him his uncle was God.
Nice. Which part?
Making this side match this side.
Do it at the same time.
Philip Earl
Well,
says, that's a
too
great
late.
That's what?
Philip Earl says, that's a great story.
That's
Oh,
and
it
it's
was
funny
one.
that you say that because I generally always do that. And I didn't.
Guys, I think we call him Beast. He's like really close to done. He's really close to done. At this point, I'm messing with it. I have to polish the teeth a little. They need to look like they're made out of something else. One of the hardest things about sculpting is clay is soft and doughy. So a lot of the times when we sculpt something, it looks like it's made out of dough. And you have to make it look like it's made out of bone. You have to make it look like it's hard, or make it look like it's, it's difficult. So I have to make the teeth look like they are harder than the lips and flesh and stuff around them.
Chiwaki Moon asks, have you ever made a Wolpertinger?
Is Wolpertinger? Is that the man-pig hybrid? Is that what that
Is
is?
it man bear pig?
Never been.
Tower Studio says you'd be the best uncle to show and tell at school. Couple of Fiance says Indies in half an hour was helping me. Dead in the Yard Hunt says if someone asks if you're God, say yes.
Yes.
We've come full circle.
Yes. Come full circle.
Next Dandy says pores and grain and texture.
Yep, I'm headed there next week. I got to work on the gums and the teeth, and then I'll do a little bit. But he's got a lot of grain in there.
The goggles do nothing. Ezekiel says Rue just got cooked. Repeat, buddy.
You missed me sitting here with my eyes closed, just shaking my head. So, just saying. He doesn't do this stuff on accident at all.
It's always an accident, Rue.
Philip Earl says, Jeff, Stacy, and Rue. We're in close proximity. Like, there's, at this point, nothing. Rebecca Butler says, oh, that looks very satisfying. Mr. Spidey says, you need to make the rabbit eating bat. Wolpertinger is Bavaria's legendary
Why is
tiger
your face
creature
won't
from what I've
shave?
seen. A rabbit or a fox rabbit.
Neat.
It's pretty cool looking.
My
Scott
face
Crane.
will absolutely chafe because I ride motorcycles. So.
Scott Crane says, Beastman's face looks like he's getting too much wind.
Yes.
Next day he says Tony Montana sneezed. Ezekiel says, you know, Ruby has an alias A.
I know. I set timers when he's gone to go off all sorts of times. I'm just waiting for the right moment. Some point.
Okay, so I need to get another tool. I need to get a flat silicone tip tool.
Bill Burrow says, Rue, those mandibles are really coming to life.
Thank you.
Alexa, countdown, 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Starting now.
I find these silicone tipped sculpting tools to be great for gums. I'm just go in here and
Sometimes it's okay if they don't match on both sides.
what?
Jake sent me his Pass the Brush video.
Jake did one? Jake?
He did. I'll give you 3 guesses what he did it with.
Beer? Oh.
More flammable.
Tacos.
More flammable.
Oh. Yeah.
Ezekiel says, add some strange things to his shopping list, so Shannon freaks out. Scott Creighton asks, who makes those silicone tip tools?
I get them on Amazon. I don't know. I look silicone tip sculpting tools, and I buy the ones that look cool.
Ezekiel, as much as I would want to mess with Alan, I would never, ever, ever anger Shannon.
Yeah, that's probably not wise to anger Shannon. If anybody could disappear a body.
Yeah, getting the right amount of polish on teeth is tough.
And now to do the busy ones.
We send pics. Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Big Dog. I will post them. Nice Day says, just haunts. What would Shannon consider strange? Eggs, milk, bread? Dungeon items probably wouldn't phase her.
Alexa, what's on my shopping list?
Thank
You have 20 items on your shopping list. Here are the 5 most recent: Saran wrap, insoles, contact cement, contact lime, and cheap coke. Would you like to hear the
Cheap
next 5
Coke.
items?
No, thank you.
I didn't do it.
Christine says, you taught me to sculpt. I used to run on the treadmill or sculpt while watching your videos. I remember meeting you at Transworld for the first time to say thank you. I felt like a nervous kid meeting Santa.
Well, that's awesome.
Big Dog says, no cat videos, Stacy. I was looking on the Creepers group to see if anybody had requested to be added that hadn't gotten
Cat
up.
videos.
Yes, cat videos.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but a lot of times I'll say something and Alexa doesn't quite understand, and then she just goes with it.
Cheap Coke, you know.
Rebecca Butler says, have you been to the Museum of Torture in St. Augustine? Crazy stuff and historically accurate.
You know what? I have not, and I don't think I would want to go. I have done several torture museum exhibits for Renaissance festivals, and having to research them, I just didn't feel good. Like it's not nice stuff, and it affected my psyche. I did not enjoy it. You know, and I'm making this device that is meant to rip your breasts off, you know, and it's like, this isn't fun. Yeah. Why your arms crossed, huh?
name of a booth. Or Bradley G asks, is it going to have sculpted hair?
It has sculpted hair. Like this is sculpted hair. Yes, but I'm going to do a flocked version, and I'm also going to hair over it. I did these just to let the hair go a little wild.
Ezekiel says, trying to talk to Siri with an Australian accent.
Funny, my not my Siri, but my GPS in my car has an Australian accent.
Rich McGrath says, I'm sure the goat just moved and winked at Stacy.
It's possible.
And I'm uncomfortable again. Dan McCordison says, yeah, just go for a ride in his car, sure to disappear. 1980 says, China white isn't cheap. Rebecca Butler says, I get that for sure. I work in surgery and see stuff all the time. Yeah, I imagine that takes some of the excitement out of gore for you if you work in the surgery. I used to have a bigger appetite for that kind of stuff when I was younger. I don't as much anymore. I had captioning for 5 years, pretty much sucked all the excitement out of real life
That'll do it.
stuff.
So come here.
My brother says, I mean, sleazy stuff, craxy stuff, crazy stuff. We got you.
Okay, so what I am looking at here is that
Very close up.
do you see how I'm on the wrong eye? I'm like, that doesn't look like the same one. I want everything to look like it's on purpose. Flesh doesn't do this. See that? Flesh doesn't do that. So that is a wad of clay that I smeared into that spot. And it blends into the eyelid of the armature. That has to be on purpose. That has to look like I wanted that to happen, and I want it to be like that. So I have to fix it so that it looks like it's on purpose. That is a big part of good sculpture. Going in, because you know how in your house sometimes maybe things aren't put away exactly where they're supposed to go, but you're used to seeing it there, so your mind just writes it off? Well, your brain does that on the sculpture too. Your brain tells you, your brain fills in those details. And you have to stop that from happening. You have to stop that from happening and look at it every time kind of like it's new. When I have to think that this is going to become stone, and then it's going to become clay. And then it's going to become latex. And once it's latex, I want to know where to trim these eyes. So I have to mark where I'm going to trim those eyes. You can get into a situation very easily where, oh, well, the eyes are uneven, so I'll trim this eye a little bit more. Oh, well, now this one's bigger, so I'll trim this eye a little bit more. And then you got these giant eye holes that you never wanted just because in the sculpture you didn't fix it. Are there comments? Okay.
Night, Dan McCorson.
Good night, Dan.
Yeah, Dan.
It's like that with eyeliner. Starts out good.
Yeah.
You gotta even up a little bit on one side, and next thing you know, you're in peace.
Right. So wingtip eyeliner was invented. And all these little creases that I made They have to be trenched out to some degree. I don't want them to look like a tool mark. I want it to look like it's a wrinkle.
Big Dog asks, are you going to Vaseline the eyes?
Yes, I will. Before molding. My kingdom for a dry brush.
No, that would kill me. Sorry, I think I stole your rubber.
It's okay, I got a dry brush.
We got a whole pile over here.
Rebecca Butler says, sounds like botched plastic surgery. You can't put it back. Well, you can, but you don't want it to look like a graft.
Right now, I can put it back. Right now. Once it's latex, it's harder. Once it is, committed to stone, it's written in stone.
Big Dog asks, should I do that too?
If you can see the plaster bust, then you want to Vaseline it. Yeah, Vaseline any of the plaster that's showing. I feel a lot better about the eyes now. They're cleaner. The teeth are cleaner, but I want to cut the teeth a little bit.
Big Dog says, okay, will do. Jen in Yarn Hut said, just got Loctite in my hair. Oh no.
Awesome. Tell you you're winning.
So, how much latex did it take to glue your pants to your shirt?
Surprisingly small amount. It was on the table. I leaned over the table, and just the latex must have soaked through. And it got underwear, pants,
Oh my
and
god.
t-shirt.
The
I
whole
was
shebang.
connected.
Trapped.
I hate that I need glasses, but I need glasses.
Yeah.
Good Beastman noise.
Going for that chitinous carapace look.
Has it?
Yeah. Yeah. That guy had some acne when he was young.
These are very round. I'd like to see them a little more ovalish.
A little more oval.
Yeah. And they're going to be more visually impressive if they're down a little bit. Because right now, looking at him straight on,
Yeah, you can't see any of the ridges and
angle
stuff.
them down.
Okay.
Easy way to do that is by cutting it off, just putting it back on.
Rachel Powell says, will the areas where the powder sticks affect the details when you mold it?
Ooh, yeah, that's way more visually.
Not really.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that looks nice. 1980 says, men who need glasses sometimes make passes at women who are already their wives. Hopefully because you love your wife.
I wouldn't cheat on my wife. I'm afraid. And she's awesome, you know what I mean? I kind of won the wife lottery, in my opinion.
Yeah, that right there made such a huge difference.
Yep. Look at Rue's murder wasp.
Good night, Jerry Collins.
Is it in the frame well?
Yes.
There.
Well.
Don't tilt it
Murder
too
wasp.
much, remember?
No, I know.
Oh God.
It's secured to this now
Dug
too.
it off
So
there?
I
He-
came really close yesterday.
No.
He's getting there. He's dialing in the murder wasp.
Mr. McGrath asked, how's murder hornet coming on? Here we go.
It's a little close.
Yeah.
Becca Butler says, cool. Ezekiel says, very cool, Rue.
Thank you. Oh yeah, but now I can see how much deeper these grooves are than those grooves.
Yes.
And yeah, if I flare these out.
Michelle Schulte says, looking good, Rue. Jesse Papa Bear says, much better looking. 1980 says, it's buzz off.
80% less potato.
Yeah, that's
Buzz
it.
off.
That's it. Christine says, nice.
My least favorite action figure,
Was Buzz off?
Cyclone,
Cyclone. I love Cyclone.
followed by Buzz Off.
I love Cyclone.
Tickets Prop says, possible Mossman version of this mask.
Absolutely, it's happening.
The
For
rest is
sure.
Rue.
There's a reason why I bought Green Flock.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited about that green clock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I spent, okay, you know the antlers headdress that I made,
Uh-huh.
the first one?
Alexa, stop.
I was literally picking flock off of like flock silicone like balls that I got from Dollar Tree
Mhm.
and applying the peeled off flock to that thing was not the best plan. I mean, it looked really cool, but it took forever. Big Dog says Magma Killer Hornet.
Yeah, that's not a terrible idea.
1980 says I have several cyclones. Gregory Haynes asks, Alan, what happens to the space between the upper and lower teeth? Tongue, carve it out, and leave it flat?
I will probably carve in a little bit of a tongue, but just the concept. It'll most likely be taken out for the wearable versions.
Philip Earl says, come on, I had Space 1999 Moon-based Alpha action figures.
Yeah, those are very popular.
Mary Jordan asks, is this your most detailed sculpt?
No. No, I just did one recently called Heptaron, and he is far more detailed than this.
Edson Juice says, hello everyone.
Hello, Edson. How you doing, man? That's Edson Juice is in Beetlejuice.
Nice. My youngest daughter is obsessed with Beetlejuice musical right now.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
It's a musical?
Oh yeah. She's like, I don't know, man. I think I want to be maybe Lydia for Halloween. She showed me the options of Lydia dress,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, oh, yeah, pick one of these.
Yeah,
Like,
do that.
I want to make you a big poofy goth dress. Come on, give me this. Philip Earl
Zach's
says,
got one. Red wedding dress.
well, she's teeny tiny though, like this
Oh.
big.
Yeah. The shortness problem.
Yeah. Philip Earl says, I loved Heptaron. Poor Beauty says, Heptaron is awesome. Edson says, I'm doing great. I ordered a couple of Still Beach shirts earlier.
Oh, very cool. Thank you, sir, for your support.
Did you get the green or the black? Rachel Power says, my high school mascot was the Hornets. Mine too! School colors were red and white. Ours were green and white. Getting strong nostalgia vibes.
As was my intention.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good mod to that.
Thank you.
That looks nice. Edson Juice says, one of each. Poor Beauty says, the green shirt's available now?
They're on the website. They're pre-order, but I mean we've already placed the order for them, so they're coming in. So yes, they're on our website, stillbeaststudios.com.
Scott is gone. Let me see if I can drop that link. 1980 says, I was at the art museum in St. Louis and they had some Greek sculpts of mythical beasts. This beast man has some of that flavor in it.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with the classics.
They're making their classics.
Edson Juice says, what's the best ink to use on shirts? And a deal at $20.
What is the best ink to use on shirts? Well, I mean, I airbrushed a couple of shirts and I just used the Jacquard fabric ink.
There you go. There's the link to the shop. Rob O'Brien says shirt ink is plastisol for screen printing.
All right.
I've only done a little screen printing, but it's pretty fun. Edson Juice says, can you sign my shirts, Alan?
Yeah. Did you put that on your order?
If not, send an email to Shannon.
Or, yeah, just a message.
Or message. That'll work too. Nick Creeder says, plastisol transfers are good if you're trying to do it yourself. Christine says, time for sleep. Night all, I actually get to work tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night, Christine.
Alright.
Ezekiel says, sublimation is a good alternative to screen printing.
Dude, I'm so obsessed with dye sublimation printing. I have a lot of little projects in the works in that department.
Edson Juice says, woohoo, and yeah, I did.
What I normally do when I'm done here is I spend 3 more hours research. I'm always researching something.
In the hot tub.
Often in the hot tub. That's not uncommon.
Ezekiel says, I have a hat machine and a few heat presses. Totally great to get into for shirts and caps.
That's cool, man.
I don't have a heat press, but my best friend Farrah does. So like the backward shirts,
Mm-hmm.
maybe those are with her Cricut machine and her heat press.
You have a heat press.
Dude, I just started getting into the Cricut stuff because a buddy of mine asked for teeth on his COVID mask. Little vinyl chompers on his mask.
I'm close, guys. I'm close.
Ezekiel says for one color and short run stuff, it's awesome.
I feel pretty good about this.
Ezekiel, you totally need to make Shannon a one-off of that wife shirt. Like, no one else needs a wife shirt, just Shannon.
Now I have that hint of a tongue in there.
Nice Baby says, Alan will someday be confronted by someone with a tattoo of his work.
I had someone get a tattoo with a logo that I designed.
Ezekiel says, I should make a few for trans one-offs. HBK Style says, is this a replica or an original? Either way, it looks awesome from the show.
It's an homage. It is a Beastman mask. It's an homage to the Beastman of Masters of the Universe, but it is not like figure accurate or cartoon accurate. It is an amalgamation of many things that are Beastman.
The essence of Beastman.
Yeah.
Horror Beauty says, what are the plans on how you're going to paint Beastman?
Well, I'm doing a classic orange for sure. I'll probably do a Wolfman version. I mean, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna play with it.
Edson Jude says, I'm sorry for being late, but did you finish up the three-eyed goat?
Where the heck is he?
It's behind Drew.
That is their 3-eyed goatin. Can you turn it so they get a 3/4? There you go. That's that goat, yo.
The goat, yo. Good night, Ezekiel.
Good night,
Be well, see you
Ezekiel.
on the
Good day,
flip side.
Ezekiel.
Edson Juice said, did you include the shrimp? 1980 says, looks more like Ed Norm's artwork than the figures.
I don't know which one Ed Norm is, but maybe.
Rich McGrath says, are you going to pull Beastman live? I'd love to watch him being born.
Probably.
Good night, Scott Creighton. Jensen Juice says, oh, super cool, Lenny.
I tend to do a lot of that. Thank you.
Or Beauty says, the Hornet's looking good too.
It is looking good.
Thank you.
He's really made strides with it. Gang, I'm calling Beastman done.
Woo! Jensen Juice says, oh no, not the evil stink eye.
He did get this stink eye.
Got that stink eye. 1980 says, Ed Norm did the packaging art for the figs and some of the comics.
Oh, yeah. You know what? My favorite version of Beastman ever is the solid red one on the back of the art. And if I make myself a Beastman costume, it'll be that red version. I just love the look of it.
Little Pearl says, yay!
Of course, as soon as I change my angle,
There
I
we
see,
go.
I see other stuff.
Other things. Big Dog asks, how is Rue going to do the eyes? All the lens?
We'll probably hard coat them in 5-minute epoxy from the sculpted and latex eyes. Rue has the challenge of sculpting it. I have the challenge of figuring out production.
Yep.
1980 says, I have the vintage collector case with that version on it.
Nice.
I had that collector's case. Had that.
I'm going to hit him with some pledge, like right now.
Jesse Pompbear says, looks pretty damn awesome.
Thank you.
Are you going to mold tonight?
No,
I was going to say it's almost
no,
done.
we're about to wrap up. We're about to wrap up, but I'm just pre-pledging it because I'm going to have Moldapalooza here coming up one of these days.
Masato says, Beastman is in beast mode.
Beast mode is what that sculpture is called. Yeah, if someone said that, like, yeah, beast mode is the name of that. We're not even voting.
Nope, I have this. That's what this is.
Yeah, I think he looks good. And he'll be a nice werewolf, you know. I could do an orc version of this for sure, you know. What do you pledged?
No, that's
Don't you land any fresh?
you know what, I'm already living fresh.
Oh, okay. Well, save us from having to talk, I guess.
The talk.
Let's go spray a goat.
Good, then when you're over here, you can take a look here. He's getting there.
Want to bring the camera over?
And I did something Alan hates. Loves, but hates.
What's that?
He gives me advice, and I take it, and then I tweak it.
Masato says, do you just still do the same mold prep as you do in older videos?
Pretty much. I just use pledge as my on the clay.
Horror Beauty says, next on t-shirt design, let's go spray a goat.
So what I want you to do
Yeah.
is I want you to give me a lip in there to glue screen to.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So.
Good night, Dead End Yard Hunt.
You gotta fill that.
Fill it. Yeah, I mean.
And then when I
yeah.
cut it, I've got a place to
Yeah.
glue.
Fill it, and then just add a lip in the inside.
A little bit of a lip.
Okay. Wow, this looks like something. I made a thing.
Here. You know, spin them around a little bit so you can
When are
see.
you heading back, Lou?
Saturday night. I could come up tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. Tomorrow we got.
All right, so I'm going. We're going to wrap up for tonight. You guys have been awesome hanging out with us all night.
But I'll be back.
Okay. So, we got the goat done. We got Beastman done. Rue has made great progress on the murder hornet.
Murder.
So that is coming along nicely. Yeah.
Good night, Hallie.
Uh,
Says Rue's not from Texas?
Good night. He's from Texas. He's just a couple hours south. Wait, what direction is it? South. It's a couple hours south. Because you can drive for 24 hours and still be in Texas if you go from long end to long end.
I live
Texas are big.
pretty much 4 hours from here.
Yeah, about 3.5, 4 hours. So, all right, thanks guys for hanging out. Say goodnight, Stacy.
Good night, Stacy.
Say goodnight, Rue.
Good night, Rue.
And go make stuff.
Go make